Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. Outlaw Radio, real talk on a Wednesday evening. Welcome to the show. Outlaw Radio, man. I'm so proud of Outlaw Radio. My name is Kevin Barnes. I'm the host of Outlaw Radio, the militant with a microphone and mouthpiece of the movement, aka the original Negro Whisperer, certified professional life coach, Negro Whisperer, also known as the world-class smartass. Yep. From the rooted to the tutor, from the stem to the brim, he is I and I am him. Man, enough celebrating me. How y'all doing out there? 414, how y'all doing out there? This is Outlaw Radio. I don't know if you've heard of us. I don't know if you are a, pretty consistent listener, but this is a foundational Black American platform built for foundational Black Americans. And if you don't know about the delineation movement or like what this actually is, if you don't understand the need to identify and kind of put your flag in the ground, it's all in the game. You'll get it. Old folks used to say you'll understand it better by and by. There's a number attached to the show: 262-202-5131. 262-202-5131. It's going across the bottom of the screen. All this razzle dazzle, right? And then there's a chat room in which a lot of people jump in throughout, as the show goes on. So it's Outlaw Radio, man. Normally we come in on Mondays and Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, whenever I choose to cut the machine off. Quite simply because I own the machine. I just told you I was the host. Get with the People's News Network on Facebook. It's my own personal BET. Any and everything that's pertinent and relevant to our people. I mean, if you really got to understand what being a foundational Black American is. You have to understand the unique position that we are in. You have to understand that you have this country that was founded and regulated and conquered, if you will, by old white slave owners, right? But it was really didn't get popping until the economy here exploded. And one of the reasons why the initial economy of America popped was slave labor, because it was free labor for hundreds of years. So we are, though, the descendants of those people. After that, they said, okay, we don't want to do this anymore. This is not paying off for us. Let's head north. And then you ran into institutionalized slavery. And we are the children. Now we're the grandchildren of those field Negroes and the great-great-grandchildren of those field Negroes. And we are the fathers, we are the sons and daughters of those Jim Crow Negroes who bust civil rights in the face, who broke through and said, nah, shit got to get right. We'll burn this motherfucker down. We are the children of those individuals. So if you don't understand it, you don't understand it. They got this thing. They didn't taught me some shit. This FAFO. Fuck around and find out. Is that where we going? Fuck around and find out? That mean when you doing some shit you ain't supposed to be doing, that's your ass, Mr. Postman. Shout out to Jesse Paris out in Denver, Colorado. He said, peace out, lost from the Mile High Income, deported and arrested city. Frontline Black News, the revolutionary agenda in Shabaka's Black experience enhanced. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Always the hashtag, I am not your enemy. As a matter of fact, I think if we did a better job of recognizing the fact that we are not each other's enemy. Like if you watch it in our community, murder is a norm. Assault is a norm. Robbery, extortion, these things are a norm. And you would think because of that, it's like, okay, well, a person who looks like me is my enemy. But actually, it's the opposite, because the conditions that exist a lot of times in these dysfunctional places were pre-planned and coordinated and executed to the T. So what you have to ask yourself is, am I a pawn or am I a player? Right? All that kind of, am I using? Am I getting used? Am I fooling or am I getting fooled? Man, I'll talk all night on this. Y'all better jump in this conversation. 262-202-5131. Jump in the chat room. It is Outlaw Radio Real Talk. I think Real Talk is like the most simple, like that's the most straightforward kind of theme for a show. Like real talk. You know, us, you know, we say that. Hey man, it's real talk right here. You feel me? So that's what this is tonight. This is Outlaw Radio Real Talk. Once again, please jump in the chat room. Please hit the line. Man, just participate, man. So now I will tell you this because people have called before and I've had to hang up on them. People have, you know, pulled all kinds of tricks and stunts. And let me tell you something. I wouldn't give a fuck who you are. I will hang up on you. Don't disrespect my platform, right? This all grown men on this platform. We're going to communicate. We're going to argue. We're going to debate, but ain't nobody going to disrespect nobody else. So, you know, if you're a troll or if you're a sneak listener or something like that and you want to disrupt and you call in, I'm hanging up on you. Or I'll block you in the chat room too. Fuck around and find out. Fafo, I'm on that shit heavy. Young people got me saying it. Fuck around and find out. DeVille Willis, I see you out there, man. Where you at, Vegas now? One of my fellow generals. Look, all of a sudden I got company, right? I got company. So first of all, let me get with the witch doctor because this is my consistent co-host. My brother, how you doing tonight? See if he still got a delay. Can't hear me. Okay, he'll get it together. I do have another guest, another guest that I haven't had around in a while. We haven't heard from him. But man, he's here tonight. Mr. Sean Moore, what's popping with you, man? How you doing?
What it do, family? What it do? Just got one question.
What's that?
Did y'all miss me?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yes, you did, motherfucker.
I gotta remind some people who you actually are. I actually have to tell, like, I have to remind him, like, he's been on the show before, right? Like he's like me. Who is that?
What the fuck?
Who is that? So yeah, man. But welcome back. Welcome back.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. You know, good to be around this motherfucker.
Yeah, I got some questions for your ass too. You feel me? You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, I got some answers. Shit.
Well, let's see if you got some answers. I mean, I'm going at you early. The show done started. Look, y'all share this show. If y'all know Sean, y'all know me, y'all know Kamar, y'all support what we do, Outlaw Radio and whatever. Share this show. This is real talk. I got questions for Mr. Sean Moore because there's a very notorious photograph floating around on the internet of yourself and our mayor and our county executive. Y'all embraced damn near. You're interlocked together. You're smiling, all y'all smiling. Do you look at that picture now with the news that this $200 million tax haul that, first of all, was begat on the backs of the people against our will, all kinds of draconian conditions for us to get this money, and it was pushed very heavily by your friend who you was hand in hand with on the photograph. $200 million, they said. $20 more million than we thought we'd get. And 90% of it went to Milwaukee city employee pension funds, and the other 10% went to the fire and safety, the police, if you will. That is a sham. That's a robbery. Nobody even, first of all the pushing and the promoting they did for this money, none of them ever said that 90% of it was already pre-allocated. Those are your friends. So I want to know how you feel about it. Boom. There we go.
So, I look at, because you said pensions, right? These pensions were put in place before a lot of people got there, right?
Okay.
So, and we have a unique government, right? We have a unique local government.
The structure of it,
where we have alders and we have a mayor, and they have equal power. Okay, so
you know, if they're all on
you asked me a question. Let me finish.
No, but I'm just saying, hold on.
Okay.
They have equal power. No, the aldermen don't, but the president of the common council has equal power almost as the mayor. So I want civics to be clear. I'm not trying to cut you off. I just want people to understand that.
So whenever these funds or these pensions, this was passed, right? We got to look at the start of it, right? Who are the people that passed this in the beginning, right? Now, then we got to look at state law and see if state law constitutes that law being changed. I'm just saying. I didn't know you could dance.
I didn't know you could dance. I didn't know you could dance, but I see now you are a dancer.
Listen, man, you are a dancer, facts, right? Now,
hold on. But I asked you, understand? I asked you a more specific question. You haven't answered. You danced around it. Let's talk. Let's do this. Let's go back to the picture. Let's go back to the photograph. Right. Yeah. I know you to be a solid individual, as far as I know. I know your intentions are good.
As solid as they come.
But when you stand there and you take that picture, and I see the look on your face said, "Oh, better days is coming." Two of these young boys. Hold on. Now, and like because this is all. Hold on. Well, this is all 2020 and 2020, and hindsight is 2020, right? So when you took that picture, you was in one place. I'm talking about now. I don't want to hear about the state law. I want to hear about none of that. I want you as an individual.
Fatherhood initiative.
Okay.
Right.
Right now, when you look back at that picture, do you say to yourself, "I didn't know these motherfuckers was gonna do this," or do you say, "Damn, they're my guys. I love them no matter what"?
I look back at that picture and I see Chevy. I see Crowley. DC, right? I don't see. I honestly, I haven't looked at the picture in a while. So
is not 90%.
I don't feel no kind of way though, KB. Let me tell you why. Okay. Let me tell you why I don't feel no kind of way.
Okay.
I done took pictures with niggas that didn't kill niggas.
Right.
Niggas that didn't try to kill kids.
Understand that.
I done stood in the room and broke bread with some killers before.
Right, but
hold on. I mean, don't give a fuck about nobody.
So it's two different worlds. But that's apples and oranges because that's two different worlds. Hold on, Sean. Check this out. Because what you're talking about is you're talking about street stuff. I'm talking about at least tell me this. Do you not feel that 90% of this $200 million going back to the city of Milwaukee pension payments is not bullshit and highway robbery? And
why you ask me that?
Because I want to know how you feel about it. You think that ain't? You think that's cool?
Bullshit. Okay. I think that's bullshit.
Hallelujah.
I think it's bullshit.
Hallelujah. That's all I want you to say.
But you should ask me that.
You dance. Now let's get back to something else you said because
let's get back to the picture though.
What'd you say?
Back to the picture though. What's happening, bull? Let me deal with your partner right quick, bull. Hold on. Let's get back to the picture.
Because why you ask me that? Like, nigga, we on a podcast.
Shit, you want to try to run through me? We ain't doing this. Like, check this out. Hey,
Sean, check this out. No, hold on. I just want to say this. Just to bring it all into. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show.
No problem, bud. Good to be back. You know what I mean? Shit, that's what it is.
Yeah. That's why we doing Outlaw Radio. That's why I ain't got no friends. That's why don't nobody like me, right? That's why I can't get on the truth. That's why 860 wouldn't have me. I am the outlaw, as my Uncle Larry used to say. I'm the outlaw, right? So check this out, man. It's a lot going on. I want to continue the conversation that we've been having and further extend the invitation of people to talk about how they feel. And I'm talking about Black people, how you feel about what's going on with the Trump regime. We see that he's enacting Project 2025. We see that it's a lot of shit. I said black people are in a holding pattern because it hasn't come directly at us. It was some tests, like we don't fuck with DEI, we don't fuck with segregation laws, and we still saying we don't give a fuck about that. We don't give a fuck about that. That's not, we don't care. We ain't tripping. But we do feel some kind of way. And if you're a person of color, I want this to be a safe space for you to be able to say, if you just want to call up and say, man, fuck Trump now, we can do that. We're unbought and unbothered and unbossed. Nobody owns shit. We can say whatever we want. So, we got Sean Moore here with us, just in case y'all tuning in. It's Outlaw Radio, Real Talk. I got the Ghetto Witch Doctor, man. Now, I want to talk about this Milwaukee Mall thing because the initial report stated that there was multiple bodies and it was a serial killer on the loose in Milwaukee. Turns out there was one body, right? 65-year-old, right? Maybe possibly a transient, a homeless person who found a way to get in there and thought it was sweet, or maybe did figure out I got a spot and perished, right? And so this is the truth of this story. I know it's sensationalized. So a lot of people tune into social media and whatnot to get their news. So I try to give them real news and the truth. It was a homeless, I'm not going to say he or she was homeless. It was a 65-year-old, one body in the Milwaukee Mall. And it's been vacant for so long. Why would we think that there's plenty homeless transient people who say, oh, this is popping. It's like the club. There's no security. That's where I'd be. Like, shit, I got my own apartment if I was homeless. So, but Mr. Moore, you wanted to come on tonight. You made it a point. You said send me a link. So I assumed that you had something on your mind. I kind of ambushed you with the picture. And shout out to Sheila Dye because she put the picture up and I was laughing out loud. Like, you ever been driving in your car and seen something and just start laughing out loud? In light of the $200 million tax robbery, in light of the fact that no development of any kind of real black economic, no economic development at all from this dude, lies, ducking, he didn't know nothing about MPS. He didn't know nothing about Hackham. Everything you say, well, for real, you bullshitting. That's who he is. He's Mayor Rollo to us. And so when I seen that picture, I'm like, I know after seeing all the bullshit he done, Sean probably like, oh, fuck. This nigga, man, shit, man, call me or something. But I don't know, man. So what's on your mind? What did you want to come on and talk about?
I mean, man, man, listen, man.
I love it. I love it, man.
I can't hold David. I can't hold you accountable for something that the nigga that had a show before you did.
Okay, let's go here. Let's go here.
Now, years ago, maybe I would have, right? But we talking about something that is bullshit. It is to the core of it, right? It's bullshit, but a lot of these same people that's talking about it now, that's crying about it, y'all voted the motherfuckers in that voted that shit in initially. And then when the motherfucker try to hold them accountable, y'all want to stand up for these motherfuckers, right? These pensions, this was put in place a while ago.
Long time ago.
We the ones suffering for it now, though.
Hey, but you know what? There's this thing, Sean, called the law.
I understand that.
Hold up. We have this thing called the law, right? And so, correct me if I'm wrong, but leaders have law individuals from the legal field who they consult with, right? You have to have lawyers, right? So what's best for the people is to say, hey, let's revisit something where we can reverse this law. Let's cap it or something. Because that's what leadership is, right? And even in the aftermath of this fucking nasty ass robbery of 90% of $200 million going back to the city and not one red motherfucking dime for the people, and that's where you got the motherfucking money from anyways. Now, keep in mind, you went to the state who it said that they had $1 billion surplus years prior, and that's our money.
I agree.
And you got down on your knees and you sold the farm. That's MPS been caught up. Like they need more trouble because there's a requirement that you put officers in the school because of this bullshit. You signed off to get rid of DEI and CRT and all this stuff way before Trump was elected. You're the original buck dancer. You said you did this. Now, shout out to DC because I'm cool with DC just like you. And he actually called me a couple months ago and we talked about this thing from the rooter to the tutor. When he didn't endorse my man for county comptroller, Harper, right? And he endorsed the white lady. Yeah. We had to have we had a sit down via phone. And he told me that the county didn't forfeit their rights to fund DEI programs and keep this kind of thing. The city did. Now, what he's responsible for is even after he championed this tax increase, there was still a $19 million county deficit, which to this day, they have not explained how they were going to compensate for it, except for to say that we're going to raise the property tax levy. Now, if people don't know what the property tax levy is, if you own your shit, you put into it. Your tax, everything, this funds MPS, this funds everything. This is the central generator. That's how we got a trolley, because they were able to borrow incremental funds because you had, and this was the project they created. So I'm saying DC's foul for the $19 million deficit after you was a champion to get this shit passed. Mayor fucking whoever, Chevalier, whatever the fuck his name is, he's foul. For you not even to come out after that and say, hold on, y'all, there is something that needs to be done about the pension fund. Now, you're right, Sean. This was amen, and this was amen all these people years ago. But we talking 25 years.
Let me ask you a question.
Let's change the law. Let's change the law.
Let me ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
We know that, we got DC. Yeah. I ain't got a problem with I ain't got a problem with nothing you saying. Nothing, bro.
And I love DC. That's my little bro.
However, we also got some other leadership around this motherfucker. No, we got that comment. Hold on. We got a common council president.
What's his name? Perez?
Right, Perez.
Is he gonna get deported? Is Trump sending him and his people out? Is Trump got ice on him and his people, so he quiet?
But
that was racist. Yeah, that was racist. I did that. You see that? Come on.
What I'm saying is there's more than just DC and Chevy.
Right. But
I'm saying if we gonna put motherfuckers in the room,
but none of those people were on the cover of the magazine with them, and it said "Faces of Power." None of them have taken more credit for the passing. We saved Milwaukee. We rescued Milwaukee from a fiscal cliff. Well, first of all, that's a lie because the county still had a deficit, and it's another lie because one of the poorest cities in this country, which happens to be the largest tax revenue generator in this state, raised $200 million, and 90% of it went back to the pension fund. Now, if you ain't got enough sense to say, hey, man, the best thing for the people long term is to nix this shit legally, let's get to work. Let's put a cap on this. Let's stop this. It's gone on too long. It's gone on too long. And if you're a leader in office and you're sitting on your hands, you're not a leader. You just there.
Let me ask you a question now.
Okay.
Do you think that the Common Council will pass that vote?
I think they'll do whatever their president and their mayor tells them to do. They're bots. Listen, we learned a long time ago.
How do we make this happen? Because we know that it has to happen.
So shit rolled downhill, correct? It's top heavy.
Yeah.
So if the mayor establishes a platform in which he says, okay, I rescued us from a fiscal cliff so we wouldn't have to lose services, right? The services that you all appreciate, the police, the fire department, garbage collection, getting your streets plowed. But we've seen that 90% of this $200 million went to the pension fund. That should never happen again. This is money that was generated by the people who I want to vote for me. And I hope they remember when he votes again that he not only, even if he couldn't change it, Sean, what's wrong with saying something about the shit?
Right.
What's wrong with saying, listen, Milwaukee? Because if he does that, they're gonna follow suit. They're the common council. All you got to do is pull Perez in the office and say, man, I tell ICE to chill. If you just
Dog, what is wrong with you, man?
I got issues, man. I got issues. Milwaukee got me tripping, man. Milwaukee got me tripping.
I think Perez Puerto Rican.
Okay, so same thing.
Now, if I'm wrong, then I'm being racist.
Well, they better listen. I tell you what, Trump will figure out something for the Puerto Ricans in a minute. It's not a state yet. It's just a territory. You can't be here. Your ass will be back on the boat. Stop fucking around with us. Fat fault. Fuck around and find out. Let's go to the chat room. DeVille Willis, he said, I know Kamar as well from the hood. I'm J-Bone, brother. You know who Lil Q love. You know him, right?
What up, Q?
Yeah. Dion said, Sean, what up, bro?
What it do, bro?
Tiasha said, good evening, Kev, Kamar, Tufo, Sean, and the Outlaw family. Oh, Sean, only Tufo here. Okay. Sean, only Tufo here. What up, Tufo, Sean? Okay. Earl Henning, he said, great day, my brothers. Chocolate milk, love us black people in White Wisconsin. Absolutely, man. Welcome to the show. Y'all, please share the show. Please share the show. Kerry Walker Jones says they got the patients running the asylum now. We got special ed running shit and Get Back Donnie signing shit. And on the other end of the spectrum, there's a psycho Putin with nukes between them. Scratching my head, we are doomed. TR's cracking up. Laughing emojis. Earl said they don't care about us black people in Wisconsin. Dion said, man, what y'all talking about? You should have been paying attention to the show. How you gonna comment in the chat room what y'all talking about? That means you ain't listening to the show.
Ain't listening, you ain't watching, Dion.
What's going on? I wanted to talk about tonight because we are looking at and with content creation and freedom of speech and how things are done. If you have any interest in listening to this shit or trying to do it, you should pay attention to what's going on. And I'm seeing these indictments for Big U and these indictments for Yellow Beezy down south. And you see today, Adam 22, the feds came, got his ass. Yeah, well, they said just for questioning because he had all these motherfuckers on the show.
Yeah,
on his show all the time, and he was paying them obviously, so they got to trace that little money. Yeah. So
we said that was gonna happen. We said that was gonna happen before they was gonna pull him in, Vlad in.
Right, exactly. You green, you in. Yeah. It's a bunch of motherfuckers. I got the feeling that there's a bunch of people names gonna get called. But what I'm looking at is, this is a great panel to talk about this with, because I want to talk about some gangster shit. In particular, let's talk about some gangster shit, Kev. Okay, well, let's talk about some gangster shit. First of all,
I gotta roll up.
What is gangster shit? Right? What is a gangster? Who's a gangster? What's what I mean? Like, and we have this culture right now in which there's this imagery. And because most of us live in the same kind of socioeconomic conditions, right? We come from these challenged communities, underserved communities where the leadership is top heavy. Like we've been talking about, motherfuckers making decisions on your back, raising the tax. What was $1 is $2. You don't know. You just paying because you're a customer. You own shit.
That's
live in a community. You live in a community where that's one of your only options at first is just to be a customer. You're not given opportunities to lead. So this anti-hero mentality arises. And we'd be like, yeah, I got mine by fucking the system. I sold some dope. I started a business with my dope money. Or I was the type of motherfucker, I'd be riding around out here with my pistol. If a nigga fuck with me, I'm gonna gun him down. Or I beat a nigga ass, or I'm a robber, I'm a stick-up kid. But they all say that, but they all would say, okay, I'm a gangster. But then there's people who say, no, gangsters wear 3-piece suits and sit in boardrooms. And most of them can't fight at all.
Gangsters make up the rules.
What is a gangster? Like I think right now there's confusion about. We look at people are following Adam 22 with Whack 100 and Loose Cannon in the 60s and the Crips and the Bloods because they said there's some gangster shit.
No, those are gang members.
Gangsters.
Okay. Those are gang members.
Okay. Which is not gangster?
Right.
Which is not gangster,
right? Since we making it clear, that's some real shit what he just said. Those are gang members. You know what I mean? Like gangsters got motherfuckers to do everything for them. They ain't got to do shit.
Right. Well,
I'm calling the shots. I'm the gang. I had you whacked. I had a killer whacked. You know what? Right. Those are the gangsters. These ain't gangsters. They in the gang.
Gangsters
you know what I mean? But then we talk about the brother Big U. Shit, he was having motherfuckers doing this shit. You know what I mean? He was having motherfuckers, and he was busting these moves too, though. Let's be clear.
A lot's coming out.
Allegedly.
A lot's coming out. Allegedly, you're right. A lot's coming out about the way he, in particular, has over the years extorted rappers, and in particular, East Coast rappers. Like Loose Cannon is talking about being present when P&B Rock, the youngster from Philly, was killed in the Roscoe's for his jewelry. Right. So now, but once again, I think because we talk solutions. Let me get the chat room because this y'all think he just tripping, but it is really a point to this. Let me see. This is Dion. He said, bro, I've been moving around and shit. You finally was on time. What the fuck? Hey man, you know the one thing I realized about this show is I can start this motherfucker whenever I want to, just like I can end it whenever I want to. So sometimes I ain't in no particular hurry. I'll be like, I'll be on if I ain't coming on, I usually tell my crew, hey, we ain't doing no show tonight. Other people just don't know. If I don't say that, we doing the show. So if it started at 7:45 or 9:45, it'd be the best 15 minutes of your life. DeVille Willis, he said, gangster is an individual, individual organization, someone who does shit, not nor shit. Well, you said he's an individual organization. That's an oxymoron, ain't it? An individual organization. What? I don't know. I'm trying to be real logical about this shit. Ace Cooley says, "What up, fellas? How you doing, Ace? Welcome to the show." He said, "Cali is full of extortion artists." Well, that's the game out there, apparently, because all entertainers got to go there. So when they say check in, ain't nobody checking in. Apparently, there's a lot of motherfuckers checking in. Kerry Walker Jones said it's sad to add a sales tax for raises to people who already make over $100,000 when the people that you're taxing fall at or below the poverty level. Thank you, my sister. Sean, this even makes what your friends did worse. This is one of the poor. This is one of the poor cities in the country. Your friends are horrible people, Sean. They're horrible people. Go ahead, Kamar.
I think it depends on how you was planning on moving out. If you should check in, like they check in was different, you know what I mean? Because see, like entertainers can go to LA, go to their hotel, you know what I mean? Go do what they got to do, go back to their hotel and get the fuck up out of there, whatever they, you know what I'm saying? Like it's okay to do that, but you ain't finna be fucking around in these hoods and shit thinking you cool, you know what I'm saying? Like the one, you got a lot of people who go out there and they want to make movies in these neighborhoods. Right. You know what I'm saying? So like you need to know who to talk to, really. Like I mean, not on no extortion shit, but if you finna go in this hood and make a movie, there's somebody you need to talk to so they can make sure you can go make this movie. That's some real street shit, but they took it a step farther out there.
Well, I heard Meek Mill and got kidnapped and all kinds of shit. Ross had to go ahead, Sean.
One of my best friends out there, man, Valentino Johnson. They call him Rockhead. He ran the Compton City Crips.
With Jim Brown.
Guy, right?
Yep.
Bro, you know, what we see in the Midwest, you know, with these block gangs and you know, even with Chicago got a gang culture as well. However, California got gang culture is different, man.
It's way more embedded into the culture. It's
way different. You know,
So in the Midwest, if you choose a gang, right, most of the time, if you join a gang, it's like, oh, he's the black sheep of the family. He went and joined the gang. In California, it's his rite of passage because his daddy was this and his mama was that and his big brothers is this and that's all he know. He realistically doesn't know anything else.
It's a flex to be a third generation rolling 60 crib.
Well, your name is Lil BG so and so and so. Like it's all in your. Shout out to Westside Zeladon. Zels has put me up on the whole ism of it because initially I was going to say, "Oh man, fuck that, culture shit, that's some bullshit." Until he really laid it out over the year. We've been friends for over 20 years, and so he has left. So I and then I met some of them people from out there. I met some of his people from out there, and the whole communication was different. I went out with them. I went to the club with them, right? And I was just like, nah, this in Milwaukee, this gonna last about 15 minutes. You second weekend, it's a shootout. This can't happen the way it is because they was just like, woo. But I wanted to, because this was my reason for asking the question, because I feel like if we can possibly get young men into a room together, at-risk young black males, and sit them down and even maybe just have a whole day with them. I'm talking about breakout sessions. I'm talking about workshops in which we can ask them collectively, are you a gangster? Is that who you are? And I'm going to give you a chance. If you say, this is who I am, because I want you to make a decision. If you stand up and say, I'm a gangster, I would say you can leave. If half of them stand up and say, we gangsters, I say y'all can leave. The 9 who stay, I want to say y'all going to have a great time today. Because we can talk about what a gangster is on all levels. And sometimes it's a word that we just throw around and say, man, I was a motherfucking gangster. I was out here knocking niggas out. Yeah, you went to jail like 5 times. You don't have any money. You make $13 an hour. You're not a gangster. And you weren't then. Like you just said, Kamar, or Sean, you was just a gang member. You wasn't no gangster. You was told what to do. You never called shots. Now, that doesn't make you soft and that doesn't make you bad, but I think we need to start to, once again, delineate what words mean. You 9 years old, you live with your mama, you scrambling for a little, you getting a ball and you re-upping twice a week. So that's $600 in profit. Now you cut that in half by what you actually need to survive. You're going to see $200 cash of that. All you doing is keeping the dude with the weight afloat because you come by 2-3 balls from him. You're not making progress. You ain't getting money. You can make more money than that if you go work in a warehouse and do 40 hours in a week and stay the fuck out of jail and have benefits. Let's talk about what a gangster really is. A plumber or an electrician who can come to your house and your shit won't work and he say, you need to give me $75 an hour or this shit ain't gonna work no more. And you pay it. Ain't no law enforcement in his motherfucking business. He probably got a better car than the dope dealers got. I learned this when I first got legal good money, Sean, because I was still hanging with my homeboys. And at a certain point, I realized the dude that's flipping a couple O's a week, 2-3 O's a week, I had the same money he had from teaching from MPS. Mm-hmm. I was drinking the same champagne. I had diamonds. I had the gear. I had the fresh lack. But I didn't have no law enforcement on my ass.
I was just having a conversation last night, maybe night before, about the level of stress involved in the game.
Yes.
And how now that I'm enjoying being a citizen, right? I look back on it like, damn, what was I thinking? I put all that on myself.
Yeah.
Right. And thinking I was a gangster.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Thinking I was a gangster. And I count up all the money that people have made off of the adverse behavior that I displayed. Right?
Yeah.
And it's like, damn, they gangster as a motherfucker.
Some real gangsters in this motherfucker.
You know what I mean?
Hey, come on, what did
I got housed.
It starts from the time you get arrested because the arresting officer probably makes about, depending on how long he been there, $30 an hour. He got an outfit on. He has a gun. He's driving a car. There's a radio and a computer in the car. They take you to a station. You get processed. The bill starts. You're going to spend $300,000 for $150 worth of crack. And then
you know
after
how
that,
much,
you going to jail. So the bill continues to go.
bro, a reckless driving car crash, a crash, that's $1 million.
Right.
That's $1 million spent.
Yeah. Listen.
Don't count the death.
The dollars don't make no sense. And that's why, once again, I'm saying, because, who's going to have to talk to young brothers? It's going to have to be us. And don't get me wrong. The ones who don't want to hear it can go. Because I ain't worried about y'all. I'm worried about the ones that's going to keep trying and then get disappointed or disillusioned and then try to go with the no. Follow your original mind. Sit here. And not only do I want to have this conversation, I want continuation after that. Like, we're full-fledged mentoring these brothers. We ain't just letting them. Until you hit 18, young boy, and we got you some opportunities, I'm calling you. Hey, man, you need to come down to the spot today where we gonna douse these little young dudes in positivity. So if they do get to the point where they say, man, fuck it, you made your decision. So go with the fucking people.
Let me add on to that right quick, right?
Okay. Shout out to Ewok. He's in here.
We have to go further than 18, though. We have to go further than 18. Right?
Okay.
Really.
Okay.
We know that, men don't mature as fast as women. And with as many opportunities to go off the path. Because they gonna return to where they come from. They gonna return to that same group that walked away from us, right? So that pool is gonna be there, and they gonna need that support system longer than 18.
Well taken, and I get what you're saying. And so to that I will say, your level of mentorship has to change and adjust as time goes on.
Yes,
okay, so if that 18-year-old, he crosses the threshold, he graduates from high school, he has an opportunity. He still has an opportunity to reach back and say, hey, man, I need some help.
Yeah.
So he's not cut off. But in terms of intensive case management, in terms of because you really got to cover the babies. And those who go through it need to move on and succeed so they can come back and keep the program going. So, yeah, we're going to put you out there. I'm not calling you every day now. I'm not picking you up every day now. What has to happen is if you need help at that point and your toll is before you leave, hey, Kev, man, I'm struggling. I need some help. Okay, well, I'll tell you what, come see me. I still have some programming for you. So you're right. You're right that it does need to go past 18. So I agree with that. Let me get the chat room. This is Dion saying gangs are a rite of passage in Chicago too. I agree. I don't disagree, but I think in Chicago, and I'm not from Chicago, but I feel like in LA, when I say more ingrained, and this may be the case in Chicago, when you talk to these people who've been living in these projects in these neighborhoods, they can go back 50, 60 years and say, my great grandfather was a 6-0 and them dudes over there killed my uncle, my uncle, my son, my best friend, his pops, so it's really like we've been really killing each other for 60 years now. And it's probably is like that in Chicago, but I feel like in LA it's more intense. Go ahead, Sean.
So Chicago, you have compared to LA, right? LA has thousands, right, of gangs.
Thousands.
Right? Thousands.
Yeah.
And these are not just gangs that control their streets. These are gangs that have control of their communities.
Exactly.
And most oftentimes it's not violent or, a lot of violence from these gangs. And these gangs are actually in control. The business owners deal with these gang leaders.
Right.
They sit down and talk about strategizing against the opposition, which is anybody that's not Mexican gang member in Latino hoods, the Asians, right? Bro, these gangs, they're not just gangs in California.
But I don't want to take anything
system.
I don't want to take anything from Chicago, because one thing about Chicago historically, The gangs over there always were very heavily structured. And so that's a whole different discipline. And I think that is kind of the difference.
They've lost a lot of structure,
the
though.
Yeah, they lost
they
a lot
have.
of that.
They have, but I'm
That's
saying
the
the basis of it, the foundation of it, when we talk about like GD neighborhoods that have been GD for years and years, there was at one point structure, official structure. It was hierarchy.
That right there is the difference.
Right. Okay.
That shit never left out there. They structure always stay the same. Nigga, you break this structure if you want to, you can die.
You get DP.
Listen.
You know what I mean?
You have them cats out there, they being led by grandfathers that are doing triple lives.
And it's in
they are controlling those communities.
The prison.
Community, I'm in jail, nigga.
Okay, so you just helped me figure it out, Sean. And once again, I can't take anything from Chicago, but I think the prison out there, who runs the prison, carries a little bit more weight on the street, right?
They run their community too.
From ending prison. Like it's shot callers in prison. Now it's probably like
they run the prison.
It's probably Chicago's probably like that too. I'm sure there's, but I just think it's more common out there.
It is not, because you see what's taking place in Chicago.
Right, no structure.
The killing of these kids and these innocents and these. If you do it in California, man, you're not gonna hear about it, because by the time it gets to the news, the person that did it already did.
So with all this dysfunction, and think about how crazy what we're talking about is.
Yeah.
We're talking about not hundreds, but 60, 70 years of straight dysfunction and corruption, killing, murder. And this is black on black for the most part. That's why I get to tripping when I hear black people blaming everything on the white man. Mm-hmm. Because I'm like, well, not necessarily. Now let me get the chat room. Y'all gotta be patient. I asked y'all to jump in. Earl Henning said they're making up to 120. It's up to $120 now per hour. I guess when they start to arrest you. Tiasha Arthur said, Kev, you just broke that ball money down. Did you used to be an expert? Listen. I wasn't always saved, right?
Little buddy had a triple beam.
Hey, man, you got to know what that money, man. You get that money, got to come back, man. We had this thing, man, on the block. It's called fucking off your re-up. Because when you fuck that re-up, when you fuck that money up, it's hard, man, because you got to beg, borrow, steal sometimes to get back on your feet. So you had to keep your re-up intact, man. So you had to know how to budget. Okay, the first 150 I get is my re-up money. I'm putting that away. Now I'm going to take the rest of the sack. This is rec money. I'm going to go out here. Now, unless you was trying to get more weight, you say, okay, I'm going to keep my re-up money and then half of my profit. But then you got to speed up your hustle because you got to get shit off faster. So it's just all different degrees. Yes, I once participated in the street pharmaceutical game. It's not something that I'm proud of, but this is why I can speak about it, because I actually participated in it. And it was the dumbest shit I've ever done. Thank God for saving my life and keeping me from getting arrested or getting killed, because God knows the graveyard shift on Atkinson is now and always has been very, very dangerous. And I stood on them corners 3, 4 in the morning, plenty nights. Like I got to get $50 more, then I go home. Shit. Kerry Walker Jones said, duck and dodge and looking over your shoulder 24 hours, spending what you earn daily to keep up appearances and wondering when that day is coming. It is not worth it in the end. No benefits, and the only retirement plan is death. Yeah. She just killed it all. Yeah. This is why I love the fact that black women love Outlaw Radio. Because let me give her one of these. That is absolutely it. Yeah. That is absolutely it. That paranoia sometimes fries individuals' minds because they got to get high or drunk to cope with it. And it leads them down a dark path to the point where you get high off your own supply. Now you're just a tweaker.
And your only goal, and people don't realize it, but a nigga in the streets' only goal is to get back home. That's your goal, man. Yeah. At the end of the day. Yeah.
Hope I wake up in the morning. Man. Trying to get up in the morning. You know what I'm saying? But that is when you in the valley, in the shadow of valley of death, man. You just, what you gonna do? I mean, that's what I'm saying. But what I want right now, because things have changed. And so, I think in a lot of cases, our generation, Gen Xers, millennials, we get a lot of blame for the way our youngsters are. Because the first thing is, and this is a false narrative, is that we don't raise our children. And I'm happy to say I know a lot of black fathers. I know I don't have a real close partner that wasn't in his kid's life. I don't have a partner who had babies and just let them be out here. All of my real people love their kids. They will lay their lives down, and yours too, for their babies, right? I'm happy to say that. But there are a lot of brothers who didn't. Our community, where all the madness is, unfortunately, most of the older cats there are fighting recidivism, meaning they just came home and they probably going to be going back. So when you're in that situation, it's kill or be killed. So they end up basically using the young bros. They send them out. That's where you got send-offs, right? Hey, little nigga, I'm gonna put this, you know what I'm saying, in your hand, and it's just it's eating. The community is eating itself. No diddy. So that's why I want to get these kids together and start giving them opportunities. Because behind this, Sean, what's required is you take something like Earn and Learn, right? You take, and there's money out here. There's grant money out here. There's a lot of allocated funds that are supposed to be designated. I said allocated. I don't want to be redundant, but it's for at-risk youth, right? So I want to say, okay, let's take these dudes and just have real talk with them. That's why I call the show Real Talk. Let's have a real conversation, youngster. Now, once again, red pill, blue pill, right? I'm going to give you an opportunity at the end of this conversation to choose. And I will say to him, okay, after all we've just discussed, which way you want to go? You want to get it together, or you like fuck it? If he says right now, OG, I just can't fuck with it, I got to get back out here, I got to da-da-da, I'll say, hey, man, peace be to you, man. God bless you. To the little brother who say, man, you sure you can help me? And my thing with him will be, if you want to be helped, I can't teach an empty seat. So if you really want to do this, go ahead, brother.
When you're ready to do this, one of the things I've been doing in my hiatus, I've been building a curriculum.
You've been learning new words too, nigga. Hiatus. I ain't never heard you say that shit before. Go ahead.
No, I've been fucking with that AI shit, man.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm about to send it in to try to get it accredited, but I'll get it to you. I give my course to you for any team, anybody in your group, man, that chooses to chase that dream of success, because AI is here to stay. It ain't going nowhere. You know
but
what I mean?
Okay, right.
And with the language becoming
project
fast, I just think that we need to get in on this curve now, because it's going to open up a lot. And
so,
you know, man, a lot of what it is, ain't nobody challenging our kids.
Well, thank you, because you know where I was about to go, Sean? Man, I don't know. It's a reason. God don't make no mistakes. I'm glad you came on. So welcome. I was just thinking in my head, the problem that we have right now is, in a lot of cases, we're scared of these young niggas.
Yeah.
With good reason. Listen, because we know that the number one rule to living in Milwaukee, Wisconsin is mind your motherfucking business. Mind your business. I don't care what you seen. I don't care what you heard. Mind your business, right? And so we got into a situation where they just label them YNs, young niggas with the shiesties on. They got this imagery. And I'm not going to lie, if I see 7 of them walking down the street, I'm locking my door. Fuck it.
See, man, when I'm walking down the street and you walking past me, this is a public space, right?
It is.
And you got your poo shiesty shit on, and you know your pistol hanging out. That's my fucking business now, because my life is at risk, right?
Well, not necessarily.
If somebody pull up on you, ain't no
if they run up on you. But if they're just walking and they don't bother you, I'm not gonna
bother them,
right? And so it doesn't get
become a part of my business.
You know what? I think you,
Until
when
I
you was
get away
young.
from you, you my
Say that
business,
again.
dog.
Anytime they cross the line and try to accost you in any way, and see, this is what I'm trying to fight. That's what I'm trying to fight. This predator mentality. This, you know what? We got to get out here. We're young wolves. You're not. So listen, society is dictating to them right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to touch niggas' soul because I'm going to get these little niggas in the room and say, let's keep it real. How many of y'all can actually read?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I want to give y'all placement tests. Because even if you can't read and you won't admit it, it'll be confidential. It'll be between me and you. But what I'm going to do is give you a resource to help you learn how to read. Let's start right there.
Okay.
And even the ones who stand up and say, I ain't trying to fuck with this shit, I'm going to say, how many of y'all can read?
So
we got to start. We have to start. Listen, we have to start asking them. See, because people always give me this. People always hit me in my face with this every time. And this has always been one of the things people threw up to me. Well, Kev, you had a daddy. Kev, you had a mama. Listen, but I'm gonna tell you something about my father. No bullshit at all was taken. And I'm talking about you couldn't game him. He knew he was OG for real, and he would tell you that's some bullshit.
That's bullshit.
And he would tell you right then and there, I'm telling you what your ass need to do, nigga. Now, if you took it, you took it. If you didn't, you didn't. But they don't have those kinds of pops. I realize that. I realize God bless me in that regard.
There's still some of us out here.
So then those individuals need to get with me.
So
And those are dudes that need to get with me.
Let me ask you a question. Do you have a time frame set? Because we can make it happen.
Well, this is all God's plan. I'm hesitant to share my plans with niggas because I hate to see niggas with a logo the next week on Facebook.
I'm talking about me, you, and we sit down and we build a team. Within a month, man, we can really have this.
Well, Sean, I think the first step is the curriculum. Before I even step into a location, before I even gather individuals, I'm going to have a plan and a curriculum. I'm going to say, and it's going to be very specific, okay? Because it's going to be centered around literacy.
Okay.
And it's going to be centered around STEM, science, technology, math. Part of this is going to be very, very educational. Another part of it is going to be social, and it's going to be mentoring. But each area has to have its own specific curriculum because we all got to. It all comes to a point. So I don't want to
say that again.
Well, you have to have a curriculum. That's number one.
I heard the curriculum part, KB.
Okay.
Now, curriculum for the mentoring, right?
That's one part.
Curriculum for
the educational needs.
The educational needs.
Science, literacy.
Math, science, literacy, STEM.
Right.
So
right.
You said STEM too, right?
Right.
What else?
So I think once you handle that part and then have the additional mentoring, because mentoring in itself is multi-tiered and it's multifaceted. Okay. So we're talking about a mentoring network, not just you're my mentor.
A comprehensive mentoring network.
Yes.
Right.
So that like we say, so trackers and tutors and recreational cats and individuals who are vocational coming from, hey man, I can help you get a job. You want to, you don't want to play ball. You don't want to play football. You don't want to rap. You like working with your hands. Yeah. Let's get into this carpentry shit. Let me show you what a mason does. Let me show you what a CNC machining person does. So and I don't want to put too many chefs in the kitchen. That's why it has to be a network.
Right.
So that they can communicate and say, hey man, and I'm gonna take dude down here to this career fair today. Okay, go ahead. He love hooping though. So yeah, you got a game this weekend. Oh, now we all come to his game.
Okay.
All his mentors are there.
Let me ask you this, because it was one of the obstacles I faced. Well, shit, I placed in my past, right? Who are you not willing to do this with? Because this network, right now, the network is going to cross into other people's lanes,
It will.
Right?
It will.
And it's going to pull the interest of people that may not have the same ideas that you have. However, they want to.
Don't do it.
However, they want to participate.
Well, I'll tell you what, and this is what has to happen. The candidates have to be vetted, and you're either with us or you're against us.
Okay, I agree.
So, and you're with us or you're against us.
Okay.
And if you are not going to sign off on the main ideology of the curriculum, I can't allow you to participate. You'll have to go and start your own organization, meaning we're going to explain certain things to you if you don't say, okay, and you're going to be evaluated consistently. And if you're not matching up to your responsibilities based on what our code and our code of conduct and our curriculum is, then you are dismissed. Hardship, just like just like I tell those kids who were not, like I say, the first. Okay, so let me rewind this. The one thing that I used to do when I was coaching high school football, right? I was a position coach. I was a linebacker coach at first, right? I got this group of boys together. I got them running through drills, and I'm looking at the effort. I'm looking at the attitude. I'm driving them. I'm driving them hard. I'm seeing the ones who frowning up, can't take it, the ones who want to quit. So after the first practice, what I would say is, how many of y'all really want to play linebacker? 5 of them would raise their hand. I say, who want to play something else? Another 6 would raise their hands. I say, y'all go to you go to him, you go to him, you go to him. He the position coach for that. I don't want nobody over here but who want to be here.
Right.
I don't want nobody else over here. You don't want to be a linebacker? You want to be a running back? He might not even be considered to play running back. All of a sudden, you see his big chubby ass running down the field, and you the running back coach like, what you doing? Coach Barnes told me to come over here. Kev, what you doing? He don't want to play linebacker. He want to play running back. So I'm not coaching him. Find a spot for him. So that's why I'm willing to tell any of these young brothers, here's what the penitentiary is. You want in or you want out. And it's going to be a strict, there's expectations. They got a code. You can't come in my program and cuss nobody out and then get to be there because you can play basketball.
Right.
Bye-bye. You violated. We can't give up on him. He gave up on himself. We don't have time to waste on motherfuckers who want to straddle the fence.
Yes,
See what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So let me go to chat room again. I got some people here. My big homie, my brother from another mother, Joey Phillips, who, like I said, I don't even remember when I did know Joey. He said, "What's up, Outlaw Radio? Peace and love. Big facts, Kev. Pops didn't take no mess, right? He grew up down the street from me, and my father was like that. Like if my father, we had horses and shit, and my father would take you up north and looking for work, and we going on all these farms and throwing hay and jumping hay and shit. And the kids who didn't want to go, he didn't ask them to go. He said, yeah, I'm riding me, and we finna ride up here and see the horses. Who want to go? 5 niggas say, yeah, they get in the pickup. The ones who say they ain't want to go, he didn't say, hey, young man, you need to come with me. You're going to get in some trouble. He let your ass ride. You was just out here. So this is where the idea comes from, man. Choose or lose. Mama Jenkins in the chat room. Good evening, my Outlaw family. She says, Sean, more love. What up, Mama Jenkins? How you doing? And this is just an idea. This is just to me because I think about leadership should think outside the box. So what we have been trying to do with these youngsters ain't working.
Yes,
because
sir.
we're not connected enough with opportunities to hand them. I can tell you come off the corner. Man, you shouldn't be selling that shit. You shouldn't be out here in this shit. Okay, well, what you want me to do? Well, go ahead and get a job at Chick-fil-A. Even though they getting paid now, it is a better occupation than throwing rocks at the penitentiary. I want to give them some outlets. So if a dude say, man, when I was little, I wanted to be a plumber. Are you still interested in that? Yeah, but how I'm going to do it? Let me handle that. Usually when these programs fizzle out, when the grant money gone, they ain't fucking with the kids no more. We got to create some programs that are perpetual and steady existence. Because like you said, Sean, when that 18-year-old graduate and he get all that fame and then, he all in the newspaper, he got a scholarship, then he go get his girl knocked up and got to come home from Grambling and can't find a job. He should be able to call me and say, man, I'm in a bad way. And I should be able to say, hey, man, come see me. Yeah. I'm going to help you out. And we also need within this curriculum a designation for young fathers who already have you 16, 17, you got a baby. Because you said you worked on the fatherhood initiative. I don't know if that was part of y'all curriculum. Was it?
Recommendation for young fathers.
Say that again.
You said what?
A
I didn't say I
designation.
worked on the fatherhood initiative.
Oh, I thought I heard you say that. My bad,
I
cuz.
said I was at the fatherhood initiative.
Oh, you was there when you took the infamous photo. Okay. My bad. You and your buddies. You and your buddies.
Why ain't nobody saying nothing about the picture I took with Ed at that same event?
Well, we big up to you for that. Big up, but you know what?
You know what I mean,
if Ed put some bogus,
why would we talk about that?
If Ed put some bogus, if Ed put some bogus boots out here, or people have placed orders and they don't get their boots, then you got to look back at that picture and say, I fucked up. I shouldn't have took this picture with Ed. Everybody's accountable. That's a shout out to him and shout out to you for supporting him, man. Shout out to him. You know, he's family. What's happening?
Yeah, and he about to open up at the Sherman Phoenix August 5th.
There you go. Big things, man. And so if
I got another we're gonna be
I want one of them puffer hoodies.
Man. You know, he didn't get past the semi-finalist list for the Forbes thing, but you know, like I told him, man, you know, Ed's the example and the exception.
He would be a great addition to this program I'm talking about.
You know, you know, I had him in mind as you were saying it.
Imagine the power of him coming into a group of young men, the young men who've chosen to stay, because we ain't gonna waste that on the niggas who don't want to be there. Imagine the power of his conversation, and them young dudes would be sitting there like, "Whoa, for real? Word." So, does he have an on? I keep asking, can I get an on? Can I get a link? I'm not going like I don't do stairs in the
link for you. I get the link for you. Wait, Bull can get it for you too. He right there.
I need the link because I want to go if he got any kind of online presence, because I do like work clothes and shit. That's my favorite wardrobe. I make that shit look real. You get that shit creased up with some good khakis, you good.
I'm thinking about tell me what y'all think. You know, with him being from Milwaukee, we know his story. We know his grind. We know what he do. And I think it's only right that his boot be the official boot of Milwaukee County.
All you got to do is sit.
You know what I mean?
We can do it. We can do it.
This is a perfect segment into what I'm about to talk about. Man, thanks a lot, KB.
All you got to do is send me some shoes. Just send me some boots. I will promote it. Anybody who's ever sponsored my show, I promote your shit 3, 4, 6, 7 times a day. I'm on that in multitude of groups.
I'm starting a campaign as part of my new company. We've already started, really.
Okay.
To get his boot named as the official work boot of Milwaukee County.
Well, where mine at? So out of all this, though, I still ain't got no boots.
So I'm gonna reach out to him. He might be watching. If he ain't somewhere working, because he either working or sleeping.
Well, send me a catalog, man. I shop, man. Because I spend with Amazon for red cap and all kinds of shit. I'm into listen, my wife put me up on something, y'all. Check this out. I was one day I had a package come and it was like maybe some BDU, some camo or some shit like that, or some tactical clothes. And she was like, well, why you always buy like a certain kind of clothes? And I'm not into name brands and like big fashion and all that kind of shit, right? And so, and she said, you know, you're a utilitarian. I was like, what that mean? I didn't know what it meant. But I found out, I looked it up and I found out I didn't know what it meant in regards to how she was using it to me. But really what it comes down to is this a person who values purpose and usefulness versus flash and fanciness. So I enjoy cargo jeans because they have a lot of pockets, as opposed to some fake ass designer jeans with some shiny dragons and some chains and glitter on them. I'd rather give me some boots that are waterproof.
Hey, you can get Ed Henning's boots off Amazon.
I want to go get them, or you can get them right from the store.
Right, I'm just saying. You know what
Crystal Ship,
like how easy access they is.
Crystal Ship, shout out to Crystal Ship. Look, check this out. Crystal Ship. This is why I love my Outlaw family. Look, they're gonna link right there. Ed Henning.
There you go.
Oh, I was just finna say that too.
There we go. Crystal, shout out to Crystal.
I'm going through my stuff right now trying to find it too, Kamar.
But you know, I'm black, so at the end of the day, I gotta say, can I get a discount or something? I mean, come on, let's work something out. Network. I mean, can I get a gift card or something?
Hey, you finna get an influx of inboxes.
Well, tell him to send me, like, tell him to come on the show.
That's what I'm doing right now, man.
It's ridiculous that he hasn't been on the show. This is why, you know, I know I ain't people going, don't go on there. I don't like Kevin. Kerry Walker Jones said, I used to be mad at the kids until I started meeting the parents. These kids are so deprived of leadership, and a lot of them just need a safe space at very young ages. I became the mother of all my children's friends, acquaintances, and even their rivals. Today, you may hear 1,000 kids call me mom or Ma Dukes. Some have strayed, but they always have the love when they return. Listen, my son played AAU basketball, Pee Wee League football, and even with this, shout out to MAS with the state title and Tulsa West and Wisco. A lot of those kids been in the gym. My son was playing. Most of the kids who went to high school with him, that if you've ever been friends with my son, you had to know me. So they see me now and be like, oh, what up, Pops? It's funny. Just like they used to do my daddy. What up, Mr. Barnes? It's like when you show them, hey, I fucks with y'all, they'll be like, hey, man, how you doing? Like they will respond. See, the media and a lot of people make you think these dudes are straight zombified, drugged up, exceptional education crash outs. A lot of these dudes is acting the way they acting as a defense mechanism because they just don't want to get sucked up. Yeah. Kerry Walker says, I also keep in touch with their parents. See, I don't do that. I don't really talk to their parents, but when I see, but I taught school. I coached high school football. I worked at St. Charles. You know what I'm saying? At College Possible, Boys and Girls Club. So many kids I see. Mr. Barnes, KB, what's going on? So I've been fucking with young people. No diddy, not like that. I mean,
let me ask you a question, because I don't really talk to a lot of the parents of my kids' friends that I speak to, interact with, right? Why do you think that is?
Well, okay. So what I learned from my experience, and I coached Pee Wee and I coached high school. As kids get older, you know, they go down different paths, and so do parents, right? Like, so a lot of times when my son was young, it may have been a single mother, or it may have been, you know, a family that wasn't really together, but they was all coming to the games. They was showing up. They was trying to support the young dude. But situations change, and these young boys grow up. Eventually, when they get to 14, 15, 16 years old, start smelling themselves, get a little independence, a lot of them stray away. They stray away from, and so you see them say, hey, man, how's the little dude doing? Oh, man, that motherfucker, man, he ain't up to no good now, man. It's like, well, what happened? Well, life happened. Life happened. So a lot of times I don't care. Now, there are parents who remember me as a coach or a teacher, or I was a CLC director, all of this, and they say, I remember you. Yeah, Mr. Barnes, or hey, coach, what's going on? I'll be somewhere, hey, coach. I'll be like, oh, so how you doing? Oh, I forgot I did coach his son. Fathers and mothers. But it just changes. It's ever evolving. And that's why you got to do your best to keep in touch with them, but it's hard sometimes. It's hard because you take a mother who was struggling anyways, and then once he got to 7th grade, she tried something different. I moved to Florida. Or I moved to Indiana with my family. And then 4 or 5 years later, she come back because it didn't work. And now this nigga left of the line. And you'd be like, where are you at now? I don't know. You lost contact with him all those years because she was, you see what I'm saying? Like, life happens, Sean. That's what I'm trying to say. It's hard. It's hard to keep up with the kids. This is Earl. He says 16W hard to find out here. Well, 16W. What is that? 16W, he said. I don't know what that is. Crystal Ship said, Ed Hennings, they want to showcase your boots and attire. Yeah, I like to showcase some of it on my back. I take a picture. I don't do selfies, but I will and say, look, y'all, discount on the boots, and you may get an Outlaw sweatshirt this year. Man, come on, man. Let's network. Teamwork make the dream work, baby. Let's go. Let's go. That goes to any black business, though. That goes to any black entrepreneur. Come on, you know what we used to always say, man. Holler at us on business. We promise not to knock the stuffing out your Egg McMuffin. Come on, man. Let's get it. I mean, shit. I want to see black people win.
We even used to tell black businesses to call in and shout your business out.
anytime
You ain't
during the
gotta
show.
have nothing to talk about. Just shout your business out.
There you go. Shout your mama out. Shout your grandmama out. It's called the People's Network. Man, there you go. Happy women's, like that boy said.
Yeah.
But no, back to the gangster shit though. Because there's many levels to surviving, because sometimes you're a survivor. Like you really just trying to figure out a way to scratch out an existence, and people say, well, he's a gangster, or he was on some, that boy was a straight up G, and you say, well, what does that mean? Like the same as the terminology real nigga. Oh, that was a real nigga right there. What you mean he was a real nigga? Psh, man, that nigga used to didn't play. That nigga catch that motherfucking pistol, shoot everybody in this motherfucker.
Real fool.
But we got it. So then to be a real nigga is not positive, because it's a lot of us say I'm a real nigga, but what is it positive?
Hey, but see, and that's the problem. That's the problem with how we view shit in our community. How we glamorize this street shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a real nigga. Now, look, I could be a whole fucking terrorist out here, but then I'm treating my family so motherfucking good. My family at home living so beautiful. To them, I'm real, I'm the best, and ain't nobody better. You know what I mean? But
you're a whole predator.
You're a whole predator out here.
you're a wolf. Yeah.
You out here hunting motherfuckers down and shit.
Yeah. So lack of integrity. Like some people say that again, brother.
There's another part to that.
Okay.
That life that they see at home, right? They're not calling you a real nigga in the sense that in that street, they looking at you. Well, he's a real father. He's a real man of God. He goes to work.
I don't know if he's a real man of God. If he's a predator on the back end, though, Sean.
Then we get on the block, right? And being that real nigga is glorified in a different way, because that nigga don't care about.
You see that too?
He'll get down.
Because you know what I mean. You do look at it like that. Like you got a homie, that go to college. You got a homie that go to college and he doing everything he supposed to do. You know what I mean? You got the homies on the street, like, yeah, that's a real nigga right there, man. He had
okay, right there. Let's stop right there.
It can be two different ways.
Let's stop right there, because this is where I might be splitting hairs, but check this out. Usually when the dude is going to school, or he's a real squared up and trying to do the right thing, you say he's a good dude. Oh, he's a good dude. But they don't say real nigga. They say the real nigga is the nigga with the, man, them niggas just roll through here, man. Them niggas strapped up, beating on things. They out here in drama. Man, them niggas, that's some real niggas right there. So I guess, Kamar, what I'm saying is maybe we need to start to give that real nigga title to the square dude, as opposed to, he's a good dude.
What we need to stop doing is normalizing abnormal behavior.
Oh shit! Well, you with Erica on that, because she call in and
bam,
went off.
That's what we need to stop doing, right? Because we'll hear our kids talking about real niggas.
Right.
We talk about real niggas, yet in the same sense, we sit up here on the show and we talk about real niggas, right? And what real niggas is, right? And how dangerous they are, and how they really ain't shit, and how it's this persona to show people that you really something, when you have all these inadequacies inside and you don't know how to deal with this shit. So you acting out your motherfucking self because you don't know how to deal with the shit that's going on inside of you. A real nigga is fucked up inside.
So I think because I always say words mean something, and in my head there's different classifications. So I've really made a conscious effort over the years to apply real nigga where it's supposed to be at. And in my mind, when I think of what a real nigga is, it's a dude who is thorough, a dude who is responsible, a dude who's accountable, a dude who's honorable.
But that's dude who,
hold on, just hear what I'm saying. If it's a dude who wild with it, like willing to bust that thing, willing to do, I say, man, that boy's a fool. To me, I give him a different classification. I say that boy is a real fool. You don't hear me, man, he's a real nigga. I say that boy was a fool. Now, if it's a dude who I seen do some real true shit, like he got himself together, he worked his ass off, he didn't snitch on nobody, I say that's a real nigga. So those are only kinds of brothers that I associate myself with.
Hey,
and this is just me in my mind.
Right.
It's just me.
I think the only difference is you more articulate. You see what I'm saying? You more articulate. Now, we talking about most people out here, you know what I mean? Like we say real, we could say real in different connotations. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, okay, in one sense, I'm talking about the homie in school. That's a real nigga. That's the only way a motherfucker could talk.
But that was my partner. He wasn't that he was a real nigga. That was my partner.
Hey, Kev, I ain't talking about you.
Okay.
This is the difference is what I'm saying.
Okay.
You know what I mean? You more articulate. You know what I mean? You really defining what that person is good at being. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I say we, I'm talking about the other people, right? You know what I mean? Now, we looking at it like, okay, that's a real nigga. He doing some real ass shit. That's some real shit dog doing. We saying it in that sense. And you know what I mean? And then you got the motherfucker that's talking about the killer. That's
right,
nigga right there. Like he out here handling his business and glorified in that sense as being a real nigga in that sense. You know what I mean? Then you got, hold on once. Then you got the D-boy family member. You know what I'm saying? Where the family like, that's a real nigga right there because he having money. You know, and most people look at people that's having a bunch of money as real niggas in the streets. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they, you know what I mean? So when I say like, okay, you talk about real nigga, like with most people, it depends on who they talking about on what could be that real nigga.
Okay. So we got a positive with a negative.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Right?
Okay,
we got a positive with a negative.
Well, hold on.
With an abnormal. It's not going to work.
Well, hold on. I'm going to tell you why it will. I'm going to tell you why it will work. And I'm going to tell you what people have to realize in order for it to work. We talk about evolution. We talk about progression. I don't give a fuck where you standing in life. When you evolve and your levels go up, you realize in the end that the real nigga wasn't the killer. It wasn't the shooter or the looter. It was the dude who was honorable, who had integrity, who did what he needed to do. Ultimately, you come to that realization. There's no way around it. Because once you're of an evolved mind, you understand things better. And we all know, hell, there was a period in my life where I did look at some dudes on the street and be like, hey man, that's a real nigga. Because in my mind, my mind wasn't mature. My understanding wasn't mature. I thought as a child. Ever since I've been a grown man, words mean something. So I'm going to put you in the box you need to be put in.
So are we talking about us?
Hold on. And I wanted to go into part of this curriculum would be to have these young men sit down and say, who a real nigga in this room? Like, we need to have real conversations. No straight. It's just us saying, what do y'all think? What do y'all think? Because you have to deprogram. You have to deprogram.
But how can you deprogram? Listen, man, nigga has a negative connotation, right? There's no way that you're going to popularize or make normal the word nigga.
No. That's not what I'm saying. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
Okay.
My purpose ain't to popularize shit because the word is already there.
Did you want us to say what our view of a real nigga is, or did you want us to talk about how the community when they say real nigga? That's what see, you talking about how you think, and we talking about what the community.
What I'm talking about is the pathway to this curriculum for this program. And I'm talking about understanding. And it's not about popularizing the word nigga. It's to unlearn for these dudes to really get a full understanding of what a nigga is. Because first of all, we're going to sit down and talk about the roots of it and talk about its original intention and talk about how and for us, in some cases, it's a term of endearment. And because we talk about it all the time. The rule I live by is when I'm talking to y'all, and not even on the air, but if I'm talking to you person to person, or Sean, you've been on the phone with me before, I'm probably saying nigga, 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 nigga. If we're out in public, I'm not saying that. And I don't have to put on no airs, but that's just not how I communicate. So we in a gas station, we riding, we on business, and hey, Sean, nigga, come on. You're not gonna hear me say that. I'm gonna say, bro, hurry up. It's about unlearning and then properly utilizing things. So I'm not trying to popularize nigga. What I want these dudes to do,
break that shit down.
What I want young men to do is break themselves down. Because if you mature enough to have jumped off the porch and you can deal with all this chaos and madness, then you are eligible for deprogramming. Because I want to, and I'm gonna give you one opportunity. That's what I'm saying. Do you want to be here or don't you? If you say, I ain't trying to hear all that shit that nigga talking about, trying to break down the word nigga to me, I don't give no fuck about. Bye-bye. I'll see you when you get out. Because ultimately the reward is understanding who you are. Some of them dudes are going to get to a point and say, you know what, dog, I ain't even no nigga. I'm a black man. Or I'm a grown man. People are going to, but you got to feed it. The grass don't grow without water. Right? You know what I'm saying? You got to, seeds don't grow. You got to fertilize the soil. Let me get in my chat room. I'm on my box tonight.
You gotta, hey, listen, man.
Hold on. Let me get the chat room because I don't want to get behind. Let me get the chat room. Kerry Walker Jones said the parents are not judged, but as a friend, my input is better received. Okay. Cuz Jason Vidility. What up, cuz? He said we need to talk more about what a real black man is and take the nigga out of it. Okay. I ain't turning down nothing but my collar. Earl Henning said my big brother Larry was a real nigga. What I knew about Larry Henning was Larry was a real man. Larry was respected. Larry was accountable for his sons and his family to whatever degree. I seen when we were kids, I saw Larry, when Larry moved, people, they paid attention. And even when we was grown men in J&J's, he policed us. We was on some bullshit. Larry was always the one to tell us, you motherfuckers gonna get caught in here with that goddamn shit going in the bathroom. You motherfuckers lucky I talked to him and keep him out of here, you dumb. Larry was a real, you could say he was a real nigga. He was a real man. Larry was a man. Rest in peace to Fat Man. He just had a birthday. Rest in peace to Fat Man. DeVille Willis, hold on, Sean. DeVille Willis said if you can't beat them, join them in the real world. Okay. Ernest Walker said, y'all talking about white community. Fuck them. Why worry about what they think? Who talking about white people, Ewok? Who talking about white people? Jason said it's time for black men to get a better understanding of who he is mentally and physically. I'm caught up, Sean. Go ahead. Floor is yours.
You want him to come on Tuesday or Thursday?
Who we talking about?
So
I'm on Mondays and Wednesdays. I mean, we can do a special show. I'm
on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Right, you sent him an invite to your own show. You like the city. You took 90% of the goddamn $200 million and paid yourself back with it. Tasha Coop, how you doing, Coop? Come on, were you on with me when Coop was on? Lady Coop was on with us. Okay, she's in the chat room. What up, Lady Coop? She's down in Texas now. And look, this might be wishful thinking, but I just feel like effective curriculums create like understanding, and it's a tough nut to crack, Kamar. And I get what y'all saying about, because this word nigga is very, very divisive and it's very fractured and very splintering. Because, like we said, depending on how and where you say it, it could mean anything from I love you to fuck you, right? So if I see you say my nigga, boom, my nigga right here. But if I see that nigga go,
no, you can still use that. What's up, my nigga? You know what I mean? From
in a sarcastic way.
What's up, my nigga? You know what I mean? It's just, yeah, man.
I missed that call. Who was that who called me? I missed it. Sean had me distracted. Blame it on him. Hit us back. Phone line's open. But no, I see this conversation proves my point that once the conversation is had in a real way, when it's real talk and it comes from accountable sources and individuals, it means something. You'll have somebody who will carry that for the rest of their life. Dude, the most positive instructional things that I was ever told as a youngster, I still remember them to this day. I can still quote them. A lot of them came from my pops. A lot of them came from my mother. A lot of them came from the homies in the hood. A lot of them came from dudes who I respected as, okay, dude is a real one. And when I say real one, once again, a real what? Well, he's a real fool or he's a real man. I had legal homeboy, like big homies who was legal, was already ready out here working, having businesses. They talked to me, Kev, don't do this, don't do that. Then I had Sean, like you said, some comrades who was like, yeah, young nigga, get your money. Come, you don't want no ball this week? Right. Kev, you ain't hit me. I used to have homies like that. Like, man, you ain't hit me, man. What's going on? I got this new shit in. You fucking with somebody else? He was up to no damn good. I was with him. So, but no, come on. And to answer what you said, I would love to hear y'all take on this. I talk shit. I run my mouth. I know, but I really was asking when I said, what is a real nigga? What is a gangster? I ended up running my fucking mouth, but I did want to get y'all's individual take on it. So we still got time for that.
You know, I think our take, it wound off and into how the community think. You know what I mean? Because see, I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I hate the word real nigga, really. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I say, I feel like it glorified the bullshit parts of our community.
Okay.
You know? And I was agreeing with you saying that, you know what I mean, when you talking about from your perspective, like a lot of us, and you also mentioned the conscious mind, the more conscious, elevated mind. You know what I mean? Okay, so we a little bit more articulate. We can say what somebody is good at. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got to call them, just say they're a real nigga in a certain way and for you to understand what I'm saying. I can say, no, this brother Cole at riding skateboards, or you know what I mean? So is it you right? As you grow older, you do evolve and you start thinking different and shit different. You know
Dion, it is. Hit me one more time. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kamar. Dion trying to call and I keep missing the call because I'm listening to you. Come on, Dion, hit me.
Well, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, I think, you know what I mean? I feel like me and Sean, we are in agreement with you. You know what I mean? But we was just coming at it from a different angle.
No doubt. And that's why I would welcome brothers like y'all into the program. You know, so that's why I said vet the candidates. And I would think you had some, because I know specifically when it comes to the holistic thing and even being motivational about, hey, making decisions to turn the corner and change, you are just like the brother Ed Hennings. You go ahead and sit down in there and talk to him. Imagine delivering a message that was well received by people who wanted it, as opposed to trying to talk people into listen to you. Man, y'all be quiet. Hey, man, so listen what I'm saying. Imagine being in the room where they all sponges saying, so you started your own business? Like, man, like you was out here like that? Like, I'm just saying, when you have those right, when you have the right individuals there, and they get to talk to an audience that is ready to receive the message, it's the results are way different.
You know, you hit it on the nail when you hit it on the nail when you put it in a coach's perspective. You know what I'm saying? If the player don't want to play, you know what I mean? Shit, I ain't finna worry about him. I got other players on this team that's ready to go and want to. You know what I'm saying?
I'm finna put
my attention over here.
We got a game in 2 weeks.
I'm not gonna waste no energy. You got to want it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's all I'm saying. And a lot of people used to be like, man, Barnes, I coach with dudes. That's athletic directors would get pissed when they would hear, because I tell these boys, look, I'm not here to be your friend. I don't care if you think I'm cool or smooth. I'm a grown ass man. I'm here to teach you how to play football. I'm a coach. If you don't like this shit, you can leave now. And I will tell your mama. I used to tell parents, don't stand behind my group in practice. You might hear some shit you don't want to hear about your son. Because I might be like, man, you know your problem is you lazy. Man, you are not, listen, you are soft. Come on, man. What's wrong with you? I just told you this. Can you not keep information? Can you not retain information? Get out of my face, man. I tell a kid in a minute, just start running. Mama standing there looking like, oh, my baby. He ain't your baby while he in my drill. Or you can take him off the team. Either way, I'm straight. And I treated my son the same way. And he got it worse because he had to hear it in the car coming home. I'm at his ass. Don't you ever get it? You make me look bad. You can quit. I never told him that because I wouldn't let his ass quit. But he got no special treatment. Dion, I'm watching. Call right now. Latasha Coop said they don't want to be brothers anymore. That will require them to stop the violence. And so, okay, so the violence is where everybody gets nervous, because when we get a group of us together, let's be honest, the precedent is we get a group of us together, some shit happens. But I feel like, and it's akin to the way I used to run my classroom, it is a zero tolerance for bullshit. Once again, and I'm not saying I'm Booker T. Washington and nobody. I'm just saying, and you ask any kid that was in my class in MPS, my way, highway. Principal, Mr. Barnes, you can't just have him out here. Hey, I wrote him up and sent him to the office. Well, I need for you to let him back in. He can't come back in here. Mr. Barnes, you know what? You can write me up. I don't sacrifice 35 kids for one. He won't sit down. He won't listen. He's disrespectful. I've tried to contact his mother. His contact information ain't up to date. He cannot come back in my classroom. Write that shit up. Write me up. Or how else was I going to do it? As a result, the kids who was there was like, shit, shh, be quiet. They be telling each other, hey, chill out. You know you'll put your ass out of here. You can go. Bye. Kamar made a great point one night. He said, somebody got to make French fries.
I like French fries.
I like my French fries hot, right? I want the best fry cook.
Right out the grease with some salt on them.
Hey, man, don't put too much salt on my shit. Come on, man. It's chicken to be fried. There's always room for that.
I put a bus boy on the fries. You're going to have the best fries ever.
Man.
This is your destiny.
Right. You can come up out that motherfucking dish room. I'm on fries. Damn it. There's somebody that want to fry the motherfucker.
What he's saying, coming to America recently, I've been placed in charge of garbage. Listen, the world is hard, but it's fair. Because you're going to learn one way or another. I could sugarcoat it for you and be, handle you with kid gloves and say, oh, baby, listen. Oh, you ain't got no father. Oh, I feel so sad for you. Oh, you was poor growing up. Oh, poor baby. Or I'd be like, hey, nigga, what you want me to say? You better get in where you fit in. And to some dudes, that is, I'm getting in the streets and I'm robbing, stealing, killing, doing what I do. They got a place for you. It's called prison. And you will go or you'll be dead. Ain't nobody can argue that fact with me. Make a decision. And then some dudes say, man, I don't care if I live or die. And fuck it, I ain't scared of prison. I didn't ask you, was you scared? See, a lot of people think if you ain't scared, that means you can't get your ass whooped. A lot of brave people done had their ass whooped. As a matter of fact, I didn't never want you scared because that means
that had their ass whooped.
Huh?
A lot of tough people didn't have their ass whooped.
Right, that's what I meant. A lot of people who wasn't scared. I wasn't scared, but you still got your ass whooped, right? I never wanted you to be scared because I didn't want to chase you down. Stay here and get this ass whooping. I'm too fat to be chasing you around the block. Kerry Walker Jones said back in the day, that real nigga was the one that handled business, took care of their families, tried to give back to the community in different ways. And no matter how ruthless they were, they maintained a level of respect for those that weren't involved in the street. To a certain degree, I can agree with that, but a predator is a predator. So even if you gave away turkeys and book bags, but you sold tons of crack in the hood, you're still a predator. You're not a real nigga. You're a real predator. Because now you playing on the people's emotion. That makes you a manipulator, which is even worse.
Hold on. Then again, you have the normal with the abnormal. So she right. He was a real nigga. He was
on
real.
The negative side.
He was real when he was doing the good shit.
No, you can't have it both ways. You cannot be Charleston White. You can't be Charleston White. You can't be Charleston White. You can't. Oh man, but he do stuff with the kids. The fuck out of here, man. No. Hey, look. Hey, hold on. Either you are with us or you're against us. And so, like I said, you might donate some money. You're just like a racist ass white dude who donates money as a tax write-off, but you're still a bigot. Ernest Walker said, cool ass nigga, fake ass nigga, bitch ass nigga. The word ain't going nowhere. We got other shit to do than to decipher the word. It's not going nowhere. That's what I'm saying. Understanding is better than eradication. If you understand it, you can use it in your own context. You know what I'm saying? Like, context is very important in within conversations. Ace Cooley said, tell them about Coach Ab and Bob Ricardo at SSNC, cuz no nonsense. Is that y'all Westlawn coach, Kamar? He said Coach Ab and Bob Ricardo at that's the Silver Spring Neighborhood Center, right?
Yeah. That was, man, Bobby Ricardo. Way he knew my mama and my uncles and them. You know what I mean? He was around the neighborhood in Westline back then when he first started. When I first started playing football in AFY, he let me get in the league. I was 10 years old, and the league was 13 and 16-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? Bobby Ricardo was an important piece in Westline. A lot of us young brothers leaned on him. You know what I'm saying? Growing up, he provided a place for us to be. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just out there running around, get off from school, we got somewhere to come. You got to put a gym up in there. I mean, yeah, Bobby Ricardo was the shit, man. And then Coach Ab, that was the coach of the football. He actually wound up being I don't know. He did something. I forgot what he was doing. I don't know if he was an order person, but his name was Willie Abney. He was an order person or something of that sort a while back, some years ago. But he was a coach. He was a good ass football coach. They used to stay in our ass, man.
Shout out to Fred Riley, because when Fred Riley was on here, he talked about Bobby Ricardo. Yeah, he talked about that too.
He was, man. Listen, he was a father to a neighborhood of boys, man.
Okay.
The whole
and some of them benefited, but some of them didn't. Right? Some of them didn't heed his message.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Dion, I got you on the line, man. I was, man, this has been a show that it just been nonstop. So I apologize for kind of, you're like, here, won't answer the phone. What's going on, man?
Oh, nothing, just sitting back listening, y'all. You know, I kind of hate our behalf of, you know, it ain't, you know, shit, with my work schedule fucking me over and shit, I can't stay the duration, you know what I'm saying? I miss that shit, man. Yeah. We have to get up at 4:45. I'm trying to hang in there.
I see you sound chopped and screwed. Did you with DJ Scrooge?
No, I'm about to lay down. I'm about to lay down in a minute.
You said, man, I just wish y'all could.
I am though. I'm trying to hang up in there, man. But I'm gonna keep it real with you. I don't think I'm gonna be able to do it. I don't like how, you know, how shit being ran and shit like that. You know, maybe I will, maybe I won't. But right now, I'm like 90% looking for me something else, 10% to trying to keep it moving. You know, I'm trying to hang in at least to April the 10th till I get my first check. You know what I'm saying? But other than that, yeah, I'm just sitting back, you know, peeping the show and shit. You know what I'm saying? Listening to you guys, you know, talk about, you know, what's a real nigga and what ain't a real nigga. You know, everybody right, you know, I feel, you know, I sit back and I think like a lot of us was deceived on what we thought was being real, you know what I'm saying? Like just being on bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't even lie to you, you know what I'm saying? Like I knew, like when I was a shorty, like people be thinking I'd be bullshitting, like when I was coming up, because the Chicago.
Uh-oh. I know I had a phone problem, y'all. I got my phone cut off. My phone charging. I'm sorry. Oh shit. Let me get the phone back up. I hope Dion can hold on that line. I thought it was charging, man. It's in plug. It wasn't charging. I got these bootleg cords. Shame on me, man. I had to invite callers and didn't have the phone go out right in the last hour of the show. Dion, give me a second, man. I hope you're still up when the phone come back on. Let me go to chat room in the meantime. I know he was getting to the media what he was talking about. That's fucked up. Says Orlando Owens is in the chat room. He said, family. How you doing, my brother? Latasha Coop said, I'll name this segment Unlearning Nigga Orientation, aka you know. Earl Henry said Northcott was my happy place when I was growing up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I had a limited experience with Northcott with the Vikings. That was my AFU team with Big Dave and all them dudes. But you know what I realized with a lot of them programs growing up is that I didn't need a mentor because I had one at home. So a lot of the stuff, like my daddy was my daddy. Like Pops was Pops for real. Like it wasn't I didn't need a substitute. I didn't need a mentor. I didn't need, you know, my Pops would sit me down and chop it up with me. But I saw how later on, how it benefited other brothers in the hood to have a rapport with him or even when I started to do it, I saw how important it was. So I can respect any brother who dedicates time to work with the youngsters, man. And it ain't easy, man, because these boys, they'll break your damn heart. Because you try to set him on the right path and present him with all kinds of opportunities. And I mean, I coached at Washington High School for about 4 years, man. I seen some kids come through there who were for sure D1 athletes. They couldn't get out their own way. You know what I'm saying? And it just didn't work out for them. And a lot of them, when I see them now, say, man, y'all was trying to tell me. Like, it's the same at Madison when we coached. Kids would say, man, y'all coach, y'all was for real. Y'all really. And we was there year round in the building. So it wasn't like we disappeared when the season was over. One of my best players, me and him still communicate to this day. I stayed in touch with him all throughout college. I sent him money, all kinds of shit. When he was in school, he got a master's degree. And he played football, and because he was going to go to the fire academy. Like, which one should I do? I'm like, which one do you want to do? If I be a firefighter, I can get money right now. If I go to school, I can get a degree. I said, why not? You'll still be young when you get out. Why not be a firefighter with a degree? If you still want to be one when you get out of school, but get the degree first. Worked out for him. Shout out to Trevion Billings, man. I used to bring this dude. I used to bring my group to my house, though. If they have a good game, I'm bringing all my linebackers. I'm barbecuing. They all at my house eating. So that's just how that shit has to go. Shout out to me, right? Shout out to me. Hey, Kamar, we talked about this last time, but it was the end of the show. And I got more information, and I'm glad Sean is here because I think this is something that I really would like to know how he felt about this. I found out that the father of the young man, I guess this young man is a homosexual. He was dressed like a female, and his dad went to prom with him. And remember, Kamar, on the show, I said I didn't know if his father, was somebody who was in touch with the gay lifestyle or who was just cool with the LGBT community. Turns out he was a strict, devout Muslim. And so the issue that this young man had his entire life was that his father was always against his lifestyle, against the fact that he was a homosexual. So for his father, I guess he asked him to buy his dress or whatever. And the father said, okay, he was supposed to just buy his dress, but he showed up dressed just like him. And he went to the prom with him. And we talked at the very end of the show on Monday about as a father, what do you do if your son is gay and has the prom dress on and is like, Dad, can you take me to the prom as my date? I said I wouldn't be able to do it. I said I wouldn't. I said I'd probably drop him off. Maybe I'd buy the dress. I don't know that I'd even buy the dress. I think I'd probably be like, you have to talk to your mama. But I know for sure I wouldn't have went as his date. So Sean wasn't here. So Kamar, we talked about it. Sean, where you at with this? Is you going to the prom with your son as his date and he's dressed as a woman?
No.
Okay.
I'm not.
Okay. And reasoning behind that, like, because you said now I'm not trying to front you. You said you have, experience with this with your son is gay, right?
I got a gay son, yeah.
Okay. So I ain't want you to be like, man, don't bring that shit up, nigga, on the podcast, nigga. I'm just because you said it on the show.
I love my son.
There you go.
I love my son. His lifestyle, unless it affects me, it doesn't affect me. Okay. It doesn't stop me from loving my son.
Oh, okay.
That's my son until the day both of us done, right? Until somebody's done remembering us.
Okay.
That's still my baby boy.
That's your boy.
And I got 6 of them. That's my son. Okay. But I'm not.
No problem.
I wouldn't. Well, I'm lying. My daughter, I would go as her date, but yeah, I'm not. No, I'm not doing that.
Okay, because and people always hit me with the question.
You know what? As a parent, you don't know what you'll do.
Right.
I got 6 sons, man, and there's stuff that I've said I would never do, right? I got grandbabies now, right? And there's stuff I said I would never do, you know, because I have boys, and now I got granddaughters. And as a parent, yeah, we don't know what we'll do, KB. We really don't, man.
That's such a tough position, though. That's such a that's such a tough position for even if I'm the son.
Position right now
is tough.
But if I was asked, I can't say I'm going to tell my son no. I can't say that right now.
I can say I'm going to say no. I can say I'm going to say no.
That's because you've never been in a
to go to the prom
where you had to question your own beliefs that deeply. Because growing up, listen, man, my kids understand this, man. And you know, I'm not racist, but I was raised by Black women, right? In a Black community, right? And my thing with my boys was don't bring home nobody white.
No Tiger Woods.
My mama gonna kill me, right? And ain't none of y'all gonna be gay
until it happened,
right? And bro, everything I told them not to do, they did.
Right.
And I didn't love them no less.
There you go. I like that.
Right? I love them even more.
I got a caller. Hold on. Caller, who is this?
This me, Kev. What's up?
Who's this? Ace?
This Dion, nigga.
What Dion? Which Dion? I know about 5 Dions.
Man, Kev, goddamn, man.
Dion, you gotta say GD Dion or something. You gotta say shot. Okay.
Yeah, big 7-4. You understand?
There we go. He woke now. What's going on, man?
Oh, nothing. Hearing y'all sit back and talking about when dudes took his sons to the prom, and I went on there and said that was disgusting. But you know, the East stay on though. You know what I'm saying? Shit. I mean, I'm gonna keep it real, man. I don't give a fuck about that gay shit no more, man. That's another motherfucker living their life. They the one got to wake up knowing they took some dick in the ass and the mouth. I ain't got to wake up with that shit. You know what I'm saying? So if another motherfucker want to live their life gay or transsexual, that's on them. You know what I'm saying? It ain't affecting me.
Well, but we ain't just talking about. We're not talking about just another motherfucker. We talking about your son. We talking about your boy.
I mean, my son, you know, like, I don't know, man. That's, you know, I mean, I don't know, man. That's a hard one right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, say for instance, like with my daughter, like it's kind of a similar situation because, you know, my daughter smoked dope. Yeah, crackhead, all out there doing it, smoke. Yeah, hit that thing. Don't know nobody, just need money. And you know what I'm saying? And that shit hurt my feelings, you know, to see my daughter fucked up like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I used to like, man, that's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? And like, I don't condone her lifestyle, so I don't fuck with her, period. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like morally it's against what I believe in. And it hurted me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Because I couldn't, my daughter wanted to hug one day. And she just looked so nasty and smelled like piss. And I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? I gave her one of them like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
not the
you know what I'm saying?
Oh, no.
Yeah. Like
the hug that the girl used to get a dude in school who always used to be like, where am I?
Yeah. I gave her one of them, and it hurt me though. You know what I'm saying? Because you know I fucked up, and I could admit it. You know, but now she fucked up on the count of I was fucked up, and she feel like I ain't embraced her. You know what I'm saying? But you know, so my son was gay. You know what I'm saying? I know we know what homosexuals do. It ain't no secret that you know he in there with that boy. You know, taking it from the bottom of the top or wherever. You know what I'm saying?
So the sex part of it, for me, the sex part of it is not the main issue. So what I'd be looking at
that's the main issue with me.
Well, no, okay, that's cool.
Gay,
but I would.
I heard you can be gay without having sex. Now, I don't know how true that is.
But hold on, Dion. The thing is for me to say to my son, I really wanted grandkids. I wanted you to have some kids. This is about my lineage. at the end of the day, whoever you sleep with makes no never mind to me, because even if you don't admit it, you still could be doing that. Like, just because you don't say it, I mean, you could be a down low brother. Like, well, I do this and I keep it hidden because I never want my dad to be disappointed. My thing would be with him is, hold on, son. Like, let's, can we do something so I can get a grandson or a granddaughter? Legacy and lineage is very important to me. You know what I'm saying? Now, people say, well, your son could be straight and not be able to have no kids. Yeah, we can say whatever. If my auntie had balls, she'd be my uncle. I'm just saying the traditional way about going about this is for you to be a heterosexual male. And, you, like Sean said, he has grandbabies. So I think that kind of offsets him to not be so. I only have one son. Sean said he got 6. I had one chance. I used to always say, I got one son. I can't fuck this up. They used to always be how, like, that's why I tried to spend as much time with him and tried to talk to him and tried to show him, some positive shit and keep him away from the bullshit. Cause I was always like, I got one son and I can't fuck this up. My chat room is flowing. Y'all give me a second. Shout out to Mariah Johnson. How you doing? Oh, how you doing? I was just with Bose on Saturday. We was in the barbershop together. Shout out to Cuz and you. She said, I can say I'm truly blessed to have the role of being a mother to my boys. My boys they have a great father and uncles in their life. Yes, our family is, like I said, it's like that. Yeah, shout out to them Pfeiffer boys. Earl Henny said AFY football for Northcott, first championship in the history of Northcott in football. We were undefeated the whole year. I was at the end before they even actually shut down AFY. Matter of fact, the first year I went out for AFY, dude, we practiced all summer in the heat and everything. We went to Northcott when they built the new one, and all our pads was gone. We had to forfeit our season. They tried to get us to go to Silver Spring. My father was like, I ain't driving all the way out there. And I went to high school.
I played AFY in the late 80s. And I wanna say it had to have been around 86, 85, 86, 87. We was the championship a couple years in a row. We did us an undefeated season too.
Yeah, I was there 88 and 89. 88, we practiced. We didn't get to play because we didn't have the pads. The next year I went. Dave had all these ringers. He had all these old kids. I played for a minute, and then I quit because it was on some bullshit. And I remember telling them when I left, they was talking shit to me about leaving. And about quitting, right? And I was like, dude, I'm finna go to high school. I'm finna play varsity anyways. I'm going to college for this shit.
You said Hillside?
No, this was Northcott.
Okay.
It was Northcott. We actually practiced.
Yeah, I remember that.
We was the Vikings. Hillside was the Broncos, wasn't they?
Yeah.
And so we practiced at Garden Homes. And I'll never forget when I quit that day and I was leaving, he told me, well, get on out of here. You ain't gonna be shit. I said, I'm gonna play in high school. He said, y'all hear him? You ain't playing no goddamn where. Little did he know. Little did he know. Hall of Famer. That's all I can say. Latasha Coop said, always support your kids no matter the religion. I could see if he a stone cold killer, but his lifestyle is not your lifestyle. She said, I'm raising a son. I wouldn't want that lifestyle for him, but I love and support him anyways. Well, me loving you don't mean I gotta go. I'm going to the prom with you though. Like it's just we love differently. Because he'd know. Because I would tell him all the time, look, man, just like if he wanted to bring his boyfriend to the house. Hey man, we can't, nah. Thanksgiving, I don't fuck how old you are. Dad, I want to bring Billy. No, Billy can't eat with I'm sorry.
That's his man, though, Kev. That's his man.
Hey, listen, well, and if it costs
him, you a fool, dog.
Well, I'm just being honest. If he said, well, then I won't come then. I say, damn, it's fucked up. But I want you to know.
Would you go visit them knowing they're in the shower and shit?
No. If they live together, no. I'll go to his, of course I'm gonna visit my son. But we're not gonna stay there. Nothing like that, Okay, man, come to the hotel and don't bring Billy. I'm not fucking with Billy. I'm not. Now,
they always gonna have a white boyfriend too. They can't have no. And I don't know. It all depends. This is like levels of the gayness with me. Like if you gay,
I told you he's a goddamn fool, man.
Girl, and you ain't, maybe I could deal with, like, maybe I could deal with that a little bit more. Like if you Don Lemon gay, you know what I'm saying? Where you like, you know what I'm saying? But when you gayed out though, like I know girls like my friend Nene, her son gay. He be wearing halter tops and thongs and shit. Like you bogus, bro. Like you bogus. Even with the women though. Cause like we got an instructor. Like today I was down there driving the truck and shit down there on Canal, and I'm just looking at her. And then she stood up and had boxer drawers on. And like I'm thinking like, bitch, like you're not a man. Like if a motherfucker put them on you, is you gonna defend yourself like a man? My guy hit a stud in the head with a beer bottle on where Big George's was down there. Was that Big George's on Atkinson? It was across the street from the old women's prison, right there on Keith and Atkinson.
You talking about CC's?
That's where the women's. Yeah, that's where the women's prison was built. He didn't know it was a woman, and he smacked that Mars across the head with that bottle. And she was like, "I'm a girl." He was like, "Oh, So like, like I said, this is levels of it. My son, he like, "Hey, pops, this is what I do." I'm like, shit, I'll fuck you up too. But when he running around there, like, Dad.
Well, so what I keep hearing, a common denominator here is you should respect your son's lifestyle, right? That's what I keep hearing people say that, right? In regards to this, why shouldn't my son respect my lifestyle? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so my son, I raised you. You know how I am. Why can't you even be able to tell young Billy, hey, man, the thing is, man, I know my pops, man. I know how he is, and that's my pops. I know he loved me. He just don't agree with how I live. So then that's family, because he raised us to never choose family. And this ain't got nothing to do with his and my relationship. This is my choice to be with you. So out of respect to my pops, because it's not like I'm a gay basher. It's not like he gonna come over and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, you old faggot ass boy," or "Hey man, I'm trying to get you some pussy, man. I'm gonna hook you up." No, I get it. You gay. That's fine. That's fine. You're gay. But come on, son. Like you don't come up in here with no, "Hey, Dad, this is my boyfriend," and y'all kissing and hugging and, "Baby, let me get your coat." No,
See, we done went from the prom to them doing other shit.
Well, well, okay, you're right.
This will come along with
but
it, though, bro.
Sean, these situations extend themselves. It's not like if you stop it now, if you do the prom, now what else is you waiting on? I mean, what else are you going to accept? Somebody on double lines. Is this you, Dion? Why you call me on two lines on the same line? Oh Lord. Serena's in the chat room. She said, "Hey, how you doing, Serena?" You're right, Sean. It does, but okay. So I'm always thinking that if it starts somewhere and it goes somewhere, right? So and maybe as his dad, see, I like what you said in that you never know what you're gonna do, and maybe that father, after all these years, said, "You know what? I'm going to prioritize my son's relationship above and beyond even how I feel, because it is my son and I love him," which is an admirable thing. He's a real nigga for doing that.
Come on, Miko. Let's go like that.
He's a real nigga for doing that. Shout out to him. In a good way.
Miko.
In a good way, a real nigga. Earl Henny says, he said from prom to dinner at the house.
For your dog.
Hold on, let me read the chat room. Earl Henny said from prom to dinner at the house. Or send off. My son went to the prom. We did a send off. Like
he said from prom to dinner.
Right. Now we did a send off. We did one here, and then we went to his girl's house, and I was, it was a girl. So I was like, man, look at my boy. I always look at them pictures and smile. Like, man, he was clean right there. He did the damn thing. And he came home safe. So he asked you, did you have dogs, Sean? I don't know what he.
No, I seen him with his little dog. Get your ass upstairs. You trying to sneak down here and eat that food. Yeah, I seen him with his dog today. And my dog is trying to take her. I'm going to put you downstairs. Now, like, you shit in this house tonight. Because I'm about to get ready to go to sleep.
I want people who listening to the show to know that Dion is talking to his dogs, not us, while he's just doing it while he's on the air. So if y'all like, well, who the fuck is he? Dion, he's talking to his dog.
I don't want your dog.
I seen Sean with his little dog today, and I told him to give it to me. Because, my dog, I got beds for them to sleep in the room. They got beds on the floor, so I want her to sleep next to me when I go to sleep. Cause I'm about to get ready to go to sleep, man. It's 4:45 in the morning, killing me, man.
Be quiet.
I'm out of breath, yeah.
Well,
I don't know how long I'm gonna be able to make it, man.
Get you some sleep, man. Get you some
Yeah,
sleep.
I'm about to listen to y'all. You know, y'all put me to sleep, no homo.
Yeah. Make sure you get no Diddy at all. None. No.
No Diddy, but you
don't even
stayed.
say that.
I was like, this nigga stayed on the 10:30. When we'd be on the road talking this shit, it's 9:15. Well, I'm gonna cut the show short tonight. As soon as I gotta go to sleep and get up early in the morning for work, this nigga staying on talking to down there 11 o'clock. I was hot, but I was falling asleep. You was talking about some good shit.
Don't say you was hot. Don't say you was hot though. Don't say you was laying there hot.
Yeah. We gotta be careful. But man,
Words
I love
mean
you niggas,
something,
man. I love y'all, man. Y'all be smooth, man. I'm about to give me some rest. You know, I hope y'all have some positive, good weekends, man. That shit. I guess we'll do it again Monday. Y'all want to talk about too much shit that Trump did this week?
No,
so
enough. And we talk so much about Trump, man. Listen.
Yeah.
It is okay, and I want people to know it's okay to not be fixated on Trump all the time. Like we just Trump. He's doing what he's doing, and we'll never run out of material. Never run out. Let me get to this chat room.
All right, I'm going, bro.
All right, Dion, peace, man.
Peace.
Good night, Outlaw.
Carrie Walker Jones said, when my daughter said she was gay, I said, good. I don't have to worry about you getting pregnant. Damn. Now I have a 5-year-old granddaughter by her and still wondering what happened to the gay shit. Let me get your daughter. At least you're a grandmama. At least it worked out to your favor. Ernest Walker said, tell Dion to quit the damn job. We don't want to hear that shit. Ernest, you're mean. Natasha Coop said prom is a major event, one night only. One night will make a lifetime of positive memories over a lifetime of what? I don't know what that. I think there's supposed to be an emoji there. She said, I wouldn't want my child to carry that doubt. I'd much rather love the latter. Yeah. I mean, I didn't even go to the prom. So I was in high school, like, fuck the prom. I didn't give a shit about the prom. It was like, my brother didn't go, and he was trying to get me to go. Like, come on, man, you can use my car. I'll pay for your tux. I was like, fuck that shit. I didn't give no fucks about no prom. I never went. Ain't no pictures. DeVille, he said, Kevin said, respect my lifestyle. Yeah, I mean, come on, son. Like, you are the result of a heterosexual relationship. I raised you with the morals and values of a man. And that's not to say because you're gay, you're not a man, but if you're gay, you're not a man. Or are you? That'll be a whole other conversation. Where does masculinity go when you say, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know the ins and outs of this thing. I don't know. I don't understand it. I think we're going to have a problem anytime somebody tries to force feed something down our throats. No Diddy, and no pun intended. Like, I feel like that was when we talk about integration. I don't think integration is a bad thing, but I think forced integration is the problem. Because anytime you tell people what they can't do, they're going to want to do it. So when you said to white people, no, fuck that, y'all got to accept these 5,000 black people that are about to move into your neighborhood and you have no choice, I think they said, fuck that, we leaving. Whereas if you'd have made the opportunity available and just said, hey, if they can afford it, Dion, are you calling back or are you pocket dialing?
No, it's Tasha.
Oh, okay. Oh, can you turn your device down? I thought you was Dion. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
It looked like the same number. She still got it.
My bad.
What's going on? What's on your mind?
Nothing much. I mean, I don't know. Since we're on the topic, like, what happens when, life goes on from prom and things like, they can adopt children. They can also have their own children. They can possibly be married. Would those be things that you would exclude yourself from because of their lifestyle? Or would that be, is that different from prom? Like, I feel like, can you leave out, please? I feel like prom is, like I said, it's a one-time thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's only a few hours if you really want to look at it,
So
I don't
we talk about marriage, and that for me, that's been something we've talked about on this show, and it was controversial as well. If my son was getting married to another man, would I go to the wedding? At this point, I'm gonna take the Sean Moore route. I'm gonna say right now, no. I'm gonna say no. I I I can't. I can't come to your wedding and see you marry another man. Right now,
I
if you
changed that
adopt,
no up, bro. Remember, I changed my answer from no to I don't know what I'm
you
gonna
said
do.
you don't know. Right now, it's a safe bet because my son appears to be heterosexual. Then I can say no because I don't have to do it. But I know that it would put me in a spot and in a bind. And I think it will be a very long conversation between his mom and I as to what we would do. And it probably would come down to what she wanted me to do, if I'm going to be honest about it. Because I can be a stubborn old son of a bitch. I'm a caveman. But she got this ability to say, no, you're going. And I'm like, come on, man, don't make me do this. But I'm pretty sure if I went, it was because she said, no, you're going to go. You don't have to like it, but you need to be there for him. And that probably would be the only way I go. Because other than that, I'm at the crib watching the Packer game. And as far as adopting goes, I think if he cannot have children and he says, Dad, I still want to have the father experience. I'm talking about as a straight man. I would accept that child, but it'd still be in the back of my mind. But that's not really the bloodline, though. That ain't the lineage. That ain't the Barnes DNA. That ain't the Mallet DNA. And I don't know who that is. I don't know where this dude might grow up to be who I don't know. Yeah, we're going to give you family love. But in the back of my mind, I'm still going to be like, but that's not even really his son, though. You know, that's why if my son had a child, I say get a blood test. We ain't welcoming nobody in. It ain't really of the. I'm just into the lineage part of it. I feel like I want our last name and our legacy, the things that my forefathers overcome in terms of getting us out the Jim Crow South and being able to, you know, give us some structure and help us to be more progressive than they were. That deserves some respect. So I say, hey, man, respect my lifestyle and respect my lineage, respect my DNA. I'll just be giving it away. I'd be upset with him if he had 5 kids by 5 baby mamas. I'd be like, dude, what are you doing? You damaging what they say, you muddy in the gene pool. Ain't no telling who these girls is. So, but I'm just, you know, that's just my perspective.
But what level? I'm trying to figure out like what level would you like be in your son's life, because if he chooses, or I don't know if it's a choice or if it's a DNA type thing. I don't know. But if that's the lifestyle that he's living, how would you be involved in his life then? Like when major things come up, like, you know, prom and babies, marriage, like if you're not participating in those things, what areas are you participating in? Like, what does it look like?
So what it looks like
for him to know that he's still loved, accepted, and part of the family.
What it looks like is a conversation that he and I have when he chooses this lifestyle, in which I'll tell him, I'm here in whatever capacity you allow me to be, but I'm not here in whatever capacity you want me to be, because we have already established that we have a difference of opinion on this. Now, once again, if you need something, you can call me. If you need help, if you want to come see me, you want to come to the house, you want to come to family events, you are welcome. But you cannot force me to accept this. You can't force me to do it. So if you say, well, I'm not coming unless I can bring my husband, well, that's a choice you're going to have to make. How much does it mean to you? Because everybody will say, well,
yeah,
Kevin,
I mean, you don't have to accept it, though. Like, well, even you don't accept, you know, going to prom that way. You don't accept the marriage. You don't accept the relationship. Yes, house, you can still accept it.
My house, my rules. My house, my rules. No, and listen, once again, it's a difficult thing, but I think respect is a two-way street. And it's easy to dump on me and say, Kim, but that's your son, and you should respect him. Somebody should say to him, but that's your father. You should respect him. There has to be a compromise here. There has to be.
Yeah, like, I believe,
you know. And so once again,
I mean, I wouldn't be, you know, even with me, I'm 36 years old. Like, I'm not in front of my mama and my father, or, you know, anybody of that type of nature, like even hugging and kissing on my man. You know what I mean? Like, so
and that's a good point.
I just feel like
That's a great point, because guess what? Like the old school people say, if you come to my house to visit and you bring your girlfriend for the weekend, y'all can't stay here together. Y'all can't sleep together. She gonna have to sleep on the couch and you gonna have to sleep upstairs. So it's just the way things are. It's disrespectful for you to, I'm just gonna lay up in front of my mama and I'm upstairs doing whatever. No, and my kid would know that. Like, well, we ain't married. Because I'm pretty sure when I went to my in-laws' house, if I wasn't married, I wouldn't have been able to spend the night, or at least we wouldn't have been able to sleep in the room together, and vice versa. So I just think when we lose structure and we start to, sometimes you can compromise too much. You know, it's not about a homophobic thing. It's just about me being a heterosexual. I think the problem with the LGBTQ agenda is that they want to force us to accept it without. See, you don't get no. What about my respect as a heterosexual? Like I keep saying, straight pride. We on this show we said a million times, straight pride. Nothing against gay people. Just love to be straight. Just love being straight. You know, it's just like foundational Black American and delineation. It's not anti-white. It's not anti-Latino, but it is heavily pro-Black. I can love me without hating you. I guess that's what I'm saying. And that's what I would tell my son. Hey, I love you to death. I just don't agree with what you're doing. There's a lot of things my son could do and he would not be welcome in my, if he stole, I wouldn't let him in my house. You know what I'm saying? If he was a heavy drug user and every time this nigga upstairs doing cocaine, can't come to the house. And it's respect my house, right? Like I said, my house, my rules. But I'm gonna put it on tentative, just like Sean said, because I don't know what that would be like until it happened. I might be so happy that he found true love that I'm gonna say, you know what? Hey man, be happy. I'll be there. I'll be there smiling like everybody else. But at this point, I'm gonna say, nah, I'm cool. I ain't going.
I just wanted to end my call with it seems that women, and it kind of sounds like I'm fighting for this. Like it seems like women are much more accepting or pushing the agenda. That's not what I'm doing here, because even though as I sit here and I say the things that I just said, my heart is racing trying to put myself in that I have a son, like, because again, like there would be things that it would bother me, you know what I mean? But I still wouldn't like, I wouldn't push it on them. I wouldn't, I probably would be on more so what you're saying if I was actually in those shoes, but I'm really more so just kind of feeling for people that's going through it right now.
Okay.
Because I'm not in those shoes. But yeah, I would just me personally, I would be there because, you know, especially amongst a lot of gay males, they take themselves out because they don't feel like their family is there, and it's mostly because of the big things, you know, like prom, you know, teen suicide. Like it's much more likely the younger they are, they're more likely to take themselves out. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not condoning it. I'm not pushing it. I'm just more so feeling for the people that's already going through it. That's not nothing that I would want to go through. But if I had to, I would just grit my teeth because we all gonna die one day. Like it ain't forever.
You know, hey, I'm a strong believer in it ain't what you do, is how you do it. So, you know, and once again, I may, you never know where we're at, but I appreciate your call. It's been a while since we heard from you. So a lot of people don't remember when you used to actually be on the show. So, but shout out to you. And like I said, I would think the biggest thing that you have to do in this situation is talk to in your case, if you could talk to his dad. Because I definitely, like I stated, I think the most important conversation that I would have in this regard is with my wife, with his mom. That would kind of be where the buck stopped at, because once again, I'm going to respect what she says. So she say, no, you know, because one thing about us is when I'm savage, she's calm and civilized and she can talk sense into me. She's the only person that I allow to do that. So she said, no, Kevin, and she'd use my whole name. Kevin, you're going. I'm pretty sure I'd show up, but I wouldn't be happy. And I'd be leaving early. I wouldn't be at the reception. I'd be out of there. As soon as he said I do, I don't want to see him kiss his bride. So I'd be out of there. I'd be out of there. But shout out to you. Shout out to you. Shout out to you down in Texas. What part of Texas you in?
I'm in Allen right now, just about 20 minutes outside of Dallas.
Okay. Y'all watch out down there. Be careful.
I will.
All right now.
All right. Talk to you later.
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, I gotta take my dog out, man. I gotta get ready.
Yeah. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Listen, tomorrow, our podcast is returning. Different name. Truth be told. I got some stuff on my page. Advertising the show. We'll be back tomorrow, 7 o'clock. It's me and Mick coming back, and I got 3 other co-hosts. One of them is my son, my baby boy. But, you know, if you want to continue to listen to some raw, honest discussions, you know what I mean? We want to provide that. And I'm going to be giving away my course tomorrow to, I think, 10 people. You know, it's valued at around $1,500. It's self-paced. I think it's a great course. You know, I developed it, and what it is designed to do, man, honestly, is to empower our community with this new language, right? AI is here to stay, man. It's fast paced. I'm going to give you the basics, right? When you get done with this course, you will have a full understanding of artificial intelligence and the language involved in this new language, and it. Join us tomorrow night, man. Please, I'll break it down for you. I'm going to give it away to 10 people. All I ask is after you take the course, come back, share your thoughts with me. Tell me what you got out of the course, and what you think about the course. My skin is tough. I can take it. You know, and
just
I'm
make
gonna
sure
come
you
back
put it in
on
the
next
group
week if you allow me to, because what we do with my new company, we take ideas and we put them on paper, right? So everything that you told me about what you want to do, I took notes on that, and I'm going to develop that for you, and I want to share it with you, and I want you to give me some feedback on it on the air.
Well, okay, so 2 things. Number 1, make sure you put your show in the group, in the People's Network, the People's News Network. Number 2, that the development of what I was talking about, it's a long-term thing. It'll take a lot of time because there's so many different parameters that have to be included.
I'm going to give you a skeleton, right? Something that you can build off of. I'm going to add some of those elements in for you. Give me about 3-4 days. Let me show you. Let me show you what the more resource and strategy group can do.
We can chop it up. We'll see. And I'm telling you the truth. First of all, look in the chat room. I see Earl Henning. He said gay son or killer son. Neither, hopefully. Latasha said I'm down for some new learning. She'll be there, so she's gonna tune into your show tomorrow.
That's what's up.
But so I've not done this before because it's hard to work with my people. It's hard to work with brothers. It is very hard.
Very.
And the one thing I try not to do is bring a headache to where there was not one. I'm not looking to up my stress levels. I'm not looking to start some and invest time and effort in it and it never comes to fruition. The only way I would even involve myself with this is if I knew for a fact that there was an absolute concrete, solid way to do it. And this is not an overnight thing. It's not going to instantly produce. I can change. I could read my book. You get a college degree in no time.
Mm-hmm.
Process, man. This is because first of all, you're going to have to figure out where you start at, right? So there has to be a component for young brothers.
Mm-hmm.
Because you got to get them when they're young. Then you have to have a group of brothers who are right now just in it. So you might have to start. Where do you start at? You might have to start with 10 to 12-year-olds and then have a 16, 17-year-old group, which requires different things.
Mm-hmm.
And it requires facilities and it requires funding.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I wouldn't even invest in it. I wouldn't even waste my time unless it was really just really exciting.
I said that I was reading about the start of artificial intelligence, right? And they call them these winter seasons where they almost gave up on it due to lack of funding, due to lack of enthusiasm. People saying, "Oh, you know what? I ain't gonna put the time in because it may not happen," right? But we 60, 70 years in, and we see that artificial intelligence is real. That it's not only real, but it's really the mechanism behind a lot of what's taking place in the world right now.
Yeah,
what we're doing right now is AI.
I have way more time behind me than I do in the front, and I don't want to waste none of it. And listen, I've worked in social services for so long. Like I talked about this, rest in peace to the general, because one thing I can give him credit for is he really gave me a chance to get involved with grassroots organizing and grassroots politics. And I seen how complicated and how crazy it is. And it just left such a sour taste in my mouth. And I really walked away from it because it is so hard. It's just because it just becomes a battle of egos, and it becomes, stabbing in the back, and it just leads you to. I've seen a lot of people just really lose.
So check this out.
Because of that.
My course is designed with. So I'm connecting AI to real world justice, equity, and civic issues, right? I'm trying something that I've researched it is really not being done on, a grassroots level, involving grassroots organizations and these schools, these elementary schools in AI. And where AI is going and how to get involved in AI and how we can use in AI to enhance these justice fights, to enhance these causes, right? I'm going to show people, you know what I mean? I got this course and it's designed to really open that door for people to walk into AI and be successful. Right.
I got you. We'll talk. We'll talk.
Yeah.
Shoot it to. We'll talk.
Some of the stuff on my page now, it has been developed through AI. And you can't tell if it's Canva or the other stuff is, you know what I mean? So, it's DALL-E, which is AI. But I've invested the time and some money in educating myself. I
utilize AI to edit for the clips, for the edits for the TikTok and stuff like that. I use it already. So I'm very familiar with how it works. I'm thinking something else. Like I'm not. We'll have to talk because we have to talk about where things correlate at.
Yeah.
Jason Badilli, he said, but still do it because we all need it, young and old. So let me know, cuz when and how I can be involved. But I support the idea 100%, family.
I'll write something up still and let y'all figure it out. I'll talk to y'all later, man. Love, family.
All right, my brother. Peace and love. He said Latasha Coop says she needs the witch doctor's Facebook name. Mr. Carter, you want to chime in for that?
Kamar Carter. I forgot I was on mute, but yeah, it's Kamar Carter. Kamar Carter. I'll put it in the chat room.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna close this down tonight because I this is something that I've been. Well, first of all, let me ask Kamar, do you have anything coming up this weekend? I apologize. You got anything coming up this weekend?
What's this weekend? Nope, not this weekend.
Okay.
Nope, not this weekend. But I'll be at the House of Vitality if anybody need me.
There you go. I'll let that boy. I wanted to. I see this news. Tiger Woods is with Trump's daughter, and you know, I put this in the People's News Network, and another ongoing debate that probably will never end is interracial relationships. And we talk about, first of all, it's very hard to find love and real commitment, and real relationships, and I talk about whether or not the fact that a person's relationship choice, who they're in a relationship, really affects their blackness, or you know, how valid can you be in terms of loving your people and working with your people if your very own spouse is not black and you're a black person, a foundational black American. And I've come to the, you know, determination that it's really not that important, because you really need to love who you can and who you with. But I said this, and I say it many other times, more often than not, when an individual is in a relationship with somebody of a different race, they are compromised, because one of the basis of relationships is compromise. Okay. So if you are with a white woman, you have to compromise to deal with her whiteness. And you can't say love ain't got no color. It absolutely does have a color, because how you relate to each other is based on your understanding of cultural norms and how you were raised and what you got from your parents. And this kind of thing is so much put into a child. So you can't say, oh, I don't see that. I don't. So when it comes to an individual like Tiger Woods, this is the kind of individual I talk about all the time when I say compromise. I've never seen Tiger Woods with a black woman. I never see Tiger Woods even really around other black people. I think Tiger Woods himself has kind of tried to play his own blackness off to the side. What did he say a long time ago? I'm a Indo-Chinese Feng Wang Zhang Wang. He made up this whole kind of crazy ass shit instead of just saying my daddy was black and my mama was Korean, which would mean I'm still a black man. Okay. So when I talk about Serena Williams, I thought it was the one knock that I had on the halftime show for Kendrick Lamar was, I was like, why is she there? They're not like us. This is delineation music. This is a movement that's stressing to us to embrace who we are, our strengths, and you know, take on our weaknesses and build from there. Well, she's got a white man, and I just didn't get her. Maybe it's a Compton thing. I can't take, and we talk about somebody's philanthropy, whatever. I don't know what she does in Compton, but I thought she was out of place. I didn't think she should have been there. But then I look at her sister, because at least you can look at Serena and say, well, she has been with black men. She dated athletes and all this kind of stuff. Her sister, I've never seen her with a black man. So I'm going on record to say, if you are a person of color, in particular, a foundational black American, and you are anti-us, then we don't want you. I hear a lot of black people try this. Oh man, Tiger Woods, I love Tiger Woods. I used to watch golf because of him and all this. I've never loved someone who didn't love me. I've never looked at an individual who didn't want to be black and said, okay, but I'm still going to like you anyways. Because I am a black man. I'm a foundational black American. I'm very proud of it. I'm very dedicated to it. I'm in too deep. Ewok said, if you grin, you in. So when I see somebody like Tiger, I say, that's the issue. And any other black person who has deliberately chosen all white women over black women, or all white men over black men, because you think that there inherently is some level of quality in that individual that you cannot obtain from a black person, you are the problem. You are a self-hater. You don't like yourself, right? You are just as bad as the dope dealer. You're just as bad as the robber, killer, shooter, looter, because you hurt people. And what you're going to tend to do is spread that anti-black sentiment to those around you. So, fuck Tiger Woods, right? I want to say that. I've said that for a very long time. I've never been a fan of Tiger Woods. If he one day comes to the realization that his dad, in fact, was a black man, and from what I'm hearing, a very good, strong black man, right? And shout out to him for putting his son in a position where he could live in Country Club USA and pick up something and create generational wealth. I think the fact that, first of all, you're with Trump's daughter, which is a statement in itself. It's a statement in itself, right? But the fact also that I've never even seen you at any black functions. It is like you do not want to acknowledge it. See, you say, I don't have to. Well, you don't. And we don't have to fuck with you either. We don't have to buy none of your products that you're peddling and have to pay you no attention. And that's just not for Tiger. That's for anybody who is anti-us. Once again, I don't love anyone or anything that does not love me. You can segregate all the restaurants you want. And it doesn't bother me because if you don't want me in there, I don't want to fucking be in there in the first place. If you got a restaurant and you say whites only, I don't want none of that food. I don't want none. So that's why we don't come apart nowadays. The new modern Gen X foundational black American, we're not coming apart because you don't want to include us in your festivities. That doesn't bother us anymore. We want equality and empowerment, not necessarily inclusion. Some people might say, well, those you can't have. You can have separate but equal. Hear what I said? Separate but equal. So the lines are drawn and you're either on this side or that side. And when we draw those lines, we need to tell individuals like Tiger Woods to kick rocks. You don't want us, we don't want you. It's just a little thought off the top of my head on how I decipher things, because like I said, as I've evolved and as I've progressed, my opinions on certain things have changed. And I used to at one point instantaneously label any black man or black woman who was with a white person as a sellout or a coon. I no longer believe that. I look at and judge you on the basis of how much you actually love your people, not who you sleep with. And I think that's more in depth than anything else. But be who you want to be. Do what you want to do. Just make sure that your criticism of the community doesn't outweigh your contribution to it. Or else we'll take a poll, put up a post on Facebook, start a GoFundMe, all to just come to the realization of the fact that you are a coon. I see y'all Monday, man. Peace and love.